Fuck you too!
What's up, dirty dog?
What up, everybody? Good morning. Here we are.
Value of the supporting ballots cast,
Yeah, I saw it.
74.28% to 25.72%. Thus, a majority protest
Hi,
is
Chris.
found
Hi, Jimmy.
not to exist,
Hi, Juan.
and the proposed establishment of the
Hi,
South
NorCal.
Los Angeles Industrial Tract Property and Business Improvement District may be authorized at this time. For item 2, the tabulated value of the opposing ballots cast does not
Or
exceed the
Braden Beach,
tabulated value
Angela.
of the supporting ballots cast,
Very tired, Angela.
89.68%
be
to
But
10.32%.
we're here.
Thus, a majority protest is found not to exist, and the proposed establishment of the Studio City Business Improvement District
Jeremy.
may be authorized
Jeremy.
at this time. Finally, items 3 through 16 are
I don't
items
want any
which public
chases, Mr.
hearings
Penn.
have been held. The committee
Give a
reports
fuck
for
less about a
item
chase right
11
now.
and 16 have been
Tired.
submitted and are now online under their respective
Mo?
council files. 10 votes are required for consideration, sir.
I'm hoping we don't get a chase for a while. What's up, Perry Whitcliffe?
All right, thank you.
K6SYW.
Without objection, members, those items
Good
are
to
now
see you,
before
Perry.
us. Do any members have items that you would like to call special? Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Item number 16 for comments.
Very good. Item 16, we'll hold on the desk. Councilmember McCosker.
Let me get in here now.
Item 12 for questions and comments.
Very good. Councilmember Park.
What did that just happen?
Council President, following the recent court decision and pending litigation,
Francine? How are you? Hi,
as well as
Laguna.
ongoing discussions between the
Shirt's
city
looking
attorney's
baggy on
office
me.
and the property owners,
I'm baggy.
I would like to continue item 3 for 15
Hello, how are
days
ya?
for good cause.
Yeah, we'll fire it up here in a sec. Just so super tired, man. Trying to do too much. Well, looks like we got a lot of people in there, that's for sure. Let's see if we see any regulars. I see back there. So the
Okay,
over today,
Councilmember,
guys,
this
is
is a time-limited file.
23.
Can
Have
we
a feeling
continue it
he's gonna
until the
go off.
14th?
The 14th?
2-3.
The 14th is the time limit.
Thank you, Glenn.
Let's hold that one on the desk, and we'll have a
thank you.
discussion about that.
I'm
Okay.
exhausted.
Any other specials,
Fucking tired.
members?
What's up, Westo?
Very good.
Shout out to the rest of the 435ers as well. Greg, all of them, and Chris. And of course, Tommy and Tammy. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Madam Clerk, what items are now available for us to vote on?
Chris, thank you
Council
so
may
much.
now vote
Appreciate
on
you. Got my
items
coffee.
4
Hi, Laguna.
through 11, as well as
Hi,
13 through
Allison.
15, sir.
Very good. Those items are now before us.
Morning,
I
Gene.
see no
Morning,
members
Jim.
wishing to be heard. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
13 eyes.
Everybody but DeLeon and Zev Yaroslavsky's son, Katie.
All right. With that, then, I'd like to go to the first and only presentation for the day, and I'd like to recognize Councilmember Padilla. Councilmember Padilla, you have the floor.
Uh-oh. Padilla, is she going to flick somebody off again? Well, Jack, if you can close your eyes and you can run your fingers over the paint and you feel the scratch, then there's nothing you can do about it other than paint the car. You know, you can touch up paint, I guess, but usually it doesn't look so great. So there's that. But if you can run your fingers over it and you can't feel it, but you see it, and that means it can be removed. And you know, you start with the easiest process
Alrighty,
first.
so
Try a
good
little
morning,
polish,
everyone.
Little rubbing
Today we
compound.
gathered an honorary visionary, an
Then work
artist,
your way
and a
up to
true
maybe the
champion
light
of civil
color
rights
sand.
and Latino empowerment, the epic Lalo Alcaraz. Lalo is an award-winning editorial cartoonist, writer, and Chicano artist who has chronicled modern Latino political movements for a
terrible.
quarter century. Lalo Alcaraz is not just a cartoonist, he is a trailblazer.
But is he
As we stand
Latinx?
here in the heart of Los Angeles,
That's what
it
we
is
need to
only
know.
fitting that we
Need to know
pay
if he's
tribute to a
Latinx or
proud
not.
Angelino who has dedicated his career to elevating the stories which capture the diversity and political consciousness of the Latino
Like
experience
Lalo?
in the
Is he
United States.
Latinx, Elliot?
Through his powerful
Hello.
artwork, biting satire, and unwavering
Saw
commitment to
that,
social
Gene.
justice,
I mean, his
he has
dad
become
was
a
big
beacon
stuff.
of truth
Hall of
across
Famer,
the
but-
nation. From his groundbreaking comic strip La Cucaracha to his work as a cultural consultant on Pixar's Coco and on Nickelodeon's The Casa Grandes, Lalo has used his platform to challenge stereotypes, celebrate diversity, and shine a light on the issues that impact our
La
communities
Cucaracha
most.
celebrates 21 years of national.
His cartoons have the
Education
rare
Daily
ability to
Match.
make us laugh while also pushing us to confront uncomfortable truths about the world we live in. First published in the LA Weekly in 1992, 1992,
That's hysterical.
it's a numbers thing. 1992. His comic strip, La Cucaracha, was the first political Latino-themed syndicated daily comic strip in the United States, where Lalo used his art to fearlessly tackle the rise of anti-Latino immigrant laws like Prop 187 in California and Arizona's SB 1070 and today's SB 4 in Texas. I was first introduced to his work at a young age by my older sister, who herself was coming of age in a time where Latinos in the Valley were organizing to confront racist laws, as she was cutting out clippings and framing them. Lalo's art was at the forefront of criticizing Proposition 187 and the treatment of day laborers, using humor and satire as powerful tools for change. Today, I proudly display his artwork on the walls of my council office that I've collected over the years. Lalo's work has also helped ignite a shift in Hollywood's portrayal of the Latino culture. His groundbreaking work on the animated series such as Coco and the Casa Grandes, he has consistently pushed boundaries and shattered stereotypes, offering audiences a more nuanced and authentic portrayal of Latino culture. Through his artistry and storytelling, he encourages us not to commercialize our cultural heritage, but respect it. But Lalo's impact extends far beyond the realm of art. He has contributed to advancing public health awareness campaigns across the city of Los Angeles, which you all have a blue folder in front of you with that work for you to take and enjoy, and the state of California to tackle the impacts of climate change and educate our communities during the early days of the COVID crisis. Today, we are proud to present Lalo Alcaraz with a resolution from the City of Los Angeles in recognition of his extraordinary contributions towards elevating Latinos in the U.S. and advancing a national dialogue around the civic right issues of our time.
First one's heating up.
Lalo today is here joined by his family, friends, and colleagues, and I would now like to invite a short lineup of special guests to share some words about Lalo's impact in our communities.
Lalo.
I want to begin by inviting Consuelo Flores, writer, altar designer, and educator, to get us started.
Good morning, council members, and thank you, Council Member Padilla, for this opportunity to speak about Lalo. Lalo would be the first to tell you he has a lot of haters. Some of them include Latinos, those who don't understand his mission, his passion for social justice, his approach of calling them as he sees them.
Kind of like me.
Most of them are MAGA Republicans.
Oh,
But it wasn't always like
Magas.
that. I first met Lalo when we were part
MAGA.
of the same Chicano performance art community. He was a member of Chicano Secret Service, and
MAGA.
I was a member of ASCO, one of the later iterations. We'd see each other at art
Apparently all
events
the
throughout
MAGAs
LA,
hate
and I
him.
always found him to be an accessible and poignantly
The
funny
ass-licking
person.
Democrats love him.
When he went out on his own as an artist, he seemed to have a knack for nailing the most highly charged political events and or people and distilling what
Basically,
made
he's
them
got
that
Trump
way through
derangement
humorous
syndrome.
illustrations. He committed himself to social justice even when it wasn't popular, and lost himself some subscribers
Sure,
to
he
La
wears the Che
Cucaracha,
Guevara
his
shirts
comic
and all that
strip,
other good jazz.
which rubbed people from our own community the wrong but right way. Lalo's work has always gained
With a
him
Nike
recognition,
emblem
and there are
that
lots of
exploits kids
businesses,
while they make the
organizations,
shoes.
and or advocacy groups
Street
that
Fighter.
would do anything to have him address their challenges with his work. Even behemoths like Disney, who tried to trademark the Mexican Day of the Dead celebration until Lalo created Muerto Mouse and rallied the
Muerto
community
Mouse?
in protest. They eventually hired him as a consultant for the film Coco.
All right, everybody.
I greatly
let's go.
suspect that he was inspired to call out injustices by his family, particularly his parents who taught him, who I'm sure are proud of what he's accomplished now, and his children who motivated him. There's so much more I could say about Lalo, but in short, I love Lalo. I love him for the truths he's always brought to the forefront, his commitment to
fake
social
comment.
justice, and his protective passion for our culture. He is the
Thank you,
definition
Singh.
of a hero for our community, a Chicano Jose Guadalupe Posada. And I want to take this moment to say congratulations, Lalo. Your amazing keen eye, talent, and commitment have garnered you well-deserved accolades. I'm lucky we're friends, and that I've seen the trajectory starting all those years ago until this auspicious day. May it lead to far more.
And just so you guys don't, if for the ones who don't know, I was suspended from Twitch last night
Thank
for
you so
showing
much,
the LAPD
Consuelo. And
videos.
now, on behalf of the city
for
family,
30
I also want to
days.
bring
So
up
30 days
our
you won't be
Chief
able to go
Heat
onto the
Officer,
Twitch account.
Marta Segura.
Just for the ones who have popped in here, maybe.
Good morning. Thank you,
and
Councilmember
normally are
Padilla.
there.
Good morning, council members, Council President Krikorian. I wanted to be here just to thank Lalo Alcaraz on behalf of CIMO, the city, the Board of Public Works, because he has contributed his talent and his iconic, world-known, colorful, popular style to our heat relief campaign. What does this mean for Los Angeles? It means that it's made our heat campaign much more accessible. We have used his campaign
Well, for now,
artwork
Andrew.
across
And that's
bus
why I
shelters
tell
this
everybody,
year
follow it
will
more
be
than
no
one
different,
place,
but
'cause
this
now the
year
people who
actually
just went to Twitch
is different in the
are
sense
going on there
that
and
it's
not
a
seeing us on there,
multilingual
seeing it's
campaign,
suspended and
a
probably just
multi-ethnic
leaving.
campaign.
Not
So
going
on the
in
bus
another
shelters, you'll
channel
see
to come
Lalo's
see
art
us.
with a black
my point.
construction worker, a Korean worker, Latino,
These folks
Latina
only have me
worker
here
as
so they
well
can make
in
money off
4
me,
different
off
languages.
of you
but these
and off of
materials
me.
exist
That's it.
in 15 different languages, but I'm here to talk about Lalo's art and how popular art as a whole, but
You send the money, I
Lalo's
generate
art
it,
has
they
made
take it.
this campaign
That's the
so
only.
popular.
That's the only thing that I
And,
represent is money.
It's
Another.
really difficult to reach residents.
another bit of
normally,
cash
but
coming
these
in.
materials have made this so available. And if you notice, there's a loteria style in one of the cards, which makes it popular because you don't have to read it to understand the risks of extreme heat to everyday people. They can just look at it and understand extreme heat is a risk to them. So heat is not easy to convey. It's been an invisible, silent killer and the most dangerous climate hazard
Thank
for
you,
LA.
Terry.
But these
Appreciate you,
graphics
Terry.
and Lalo's art have created a great commitment to extreme heat and climate change in Los Angeles. And I am fortunate, and we are all very fortunate, to have had him contribute
Terry's
his
in here.
talent
But Terry
to
knows.
this
Terry's been
particular
around
campaign.
long
And
time now,
we're-
so she understands
we look
how many
forward to
times I've
working
been
with you,
kicked
Lalo,
off
in
of
the
different
future.
sites.
And we invite others to
But there's a lot
look
of
at the
people who
materials that
haven't
we've
been
left
here
on your
long
desk.
like
So
her,
thank you,
you know,
everyone.
and they don't
Thank you,
get it. They
Councilmember
don't
Padilla.
understand. They just see it's gone, and that's that.
Thank you so
And
much,
they don't
Martha.
get to
And
enjoy
yes,
you guys
the
and
best way to
myself.
communicate transcending language is through popular education image, and he definitely has helped with that. So thank you for those words. Next, I'd like to invite none other than the longtime
I think
Latino
it's more
journalist
about what
and
he
friend of
says
Mr.
and not so much
Alcaraz,
about his
Gustavo
art.
Arellano.
Jaime or Jamie.
All right. Good morning. I have a 1-hour speech that I can't say. I was given 90 seconds, so you could read the entire speech at my personal newsletter, gustavoarellano.org.
Gustavo Arellano. I know.
Anyways,
He used to be
Lalo
on
right
Tom
there.
Liken.
An
show.
amazing cartoonista and radio show host. The most beloved San Diego County native in Los Angeles since Pete Wilson. A Hollywood chingon. Migra Mouse, which we saw earlier. Daniel Deportado, which I think is going to make a cameo this election cycle. The Pocho Hour Power, the epitome of a
Pocho Hour
mensch,
Power.
someone who gives back to the community he loves and stands up to the losers that want to bully good people. A proud
suspended,
Zacatecano
Dana.
who is not a convicted felon or a bigot. My sometimes colleague and forever compa, the greatest Mexican with glasses ever, Lalo, if you could stand up here.
No, more the Trump
I've only
derangement
been
syndrome.
mistaken for you 3 times today. But those 3 times, may I get confused with genius for the rest of my life. Congratulations and renew Bordertown.
Yes, bring it back.
You deserve it.
Those are the down-ass kids, by the way.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Gustavo Arellano's introduction to his comedy show coming up, apparently. Okay, so thank you for that. Now I also want to invite Jeff Cohen, who some of you may recognize from his earlier acting days, and now he's an entertainment attorney.
No, I've never seen him in anything. Anybody seen this guy ever?
I know it's exciting. I was Chunk in Goonies. No need to stand up, council members. My name is Jeff Cohen. I'm honored to be here to celebrate Lalo Alcaraz. I am proud to call him a friend, a fellow Golden Bear. Go Bears, Lalo. Go Bears. And
he's
an
getting a
amazing
frame for
client.
sure.
I'm his attorney, and
A
being
Trump-hating,
Lalo's attorney. is
Trump-hating
great.
Latino for
'Cause
sure. He's getting a frame.
He gets
he
into
might get
so
a
much
gold.
trouble, man. He angers, he offends, he always keeps me on my toes. So thank you so much for that, Lalo. I represent a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and there's certain clients who are really artists. And Lalo, as we all know, is an artist. It's in him. He has to create.
He's
He's
his chunk?
creating. I mean, from
Was it really him?
Cucaracha, which I
funny.
feel like I'm having breakfast every morning with Lalo, because when I get to LA Times, I get to read La Cucaracha. Casa Grande's, Coco.
I like Beaver
and he
Mouse,
just
that's pretty
creates.
funny.
It's in him, and he makes the world a better place.
I don't
And
get the
he
shoe
is
one.
smart, he is funny, and he is fearless, and I think it's so marvelous that we are celebrating someone who really shines in LA. And Lalo, it's such a
He was
pleasure
Chunk?
to have you
Okay.
as my friend.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And now, last but not least,
Chunk from the
it
Goonies.
is with great honor and
Thought he was
privilege that I
Sloth
introduce
from the Goonies.
our honoree, Lalo Alcaraz.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I prepared nothing because I was hoping everybody would cover all of it. I thought maybe I would start by apologizing to anybody who I've drawn here. That'll be the only time I apologize. I feel a little guilty. Mr. Krikorian. Kevin. But if people ask to be in my editorial cartoons or in my comic strip, and I'm like, you really don't want to be in it because it might mean that you messed up.
Other than Chunk, I don't think he's done too much.
I do. I am super humbled though by all of this and
No
by
truffle
the presence
shuffle?
of my friends and my beautiful family. I'm a little choked up about everything, and so I just want to say Los Angeles has been very, very good to me. Since you saw my redesign, I took the liberty of redesigning the city seal for the day, I pretty much count 1992 as my origin year. Here it comes. There it is. Thank you. I altered the city seal a little bit. Conveniently, I have the
Sharpie
same
on the side?
initials as
Is
the
that a
city,
Sharpie?
so that's good. But my origin story after coming back from UC Berkeley and getting a master's in architecture there,
Jenna.
I had met a bunch of Chicanos that were artists, and it changed my life. And I came here to perform. I also conveniently, my wife is from Pico Rivera and was at Berkeley as well. But Los Angeles really, I missed my part about the origin story. The LA riots / uprising was really the birth of La Cucaracha. And so I feel very much LA forever. It really spurred me to,
Hi, Nick.
yeah. It really spurred me to activism and to combine it, like any good Chicano artist, combine activism with your art and do it for the community as much as possible. Having said that, I'll do all the posters that you want me to do, and just go in your budgets, dig deep. Thanks again to everybody. Thanks to iPad 6, Imelda, and everybody that spoke.
iPad
Jeff, Marta, Gustavo, Consuelo, my family, and that's it. Read me every day in the LA Times. Thank you.
Do people actually read the LA Times still? I mean, that's all the thing. Do people get LA Times delivered still?
Now,
Councilmember Padilla, before you
Or is
close,
it only
Lalo,
online?
you're not going to get off that easy. We do have some members on the queue who would like to say a few things, starting with Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Councilmember Padilla.
Better roll
Lalo,
those Rs.
congratulations. And thank you for making such an important contribution to storytelling for our community and standing up for us through art. So often, we get kind of subjugated and put down by people who just don't understand the real history of what's happened in Los Angeles, and from the lens of even going back to '92, I think is an important part of the story.
Yes, Shell.
It was here nearly 30 years ago this summer when I started at City Hall for Mike Hernandez and worked on, fighting against
LA Times is
187,
broke.
fighting against, and Kevin was at One Stop Immigration. Like, there was just so much rich history about what the fight was, but we weren't in mainstream media to
Shut
be
up,
able to
Mag.
tell our side of the story in an effective way. Your art was a really important part of that. And so I want to thank you for those important
Very tired,
contributions, because without that, who knows where we would have been. And so as a result of your long tenure of doing this work and being dedicated through your art and storytelling, telling our stories, and helping to make sure that we had that voice, I want to thank you for that, because so often people get it absolutely wrong. And it's just really refreshing to have someone who gets it, who says it in a
Hi,
witty
Remy.
and sometimes difficult way, but an important way. Because sometimes you really have to land the punch in order to get people to pay attention, that the assaults against our community cannot stand. And so I'm grateful for the fact that you are in a medium that allows you
Assaults
to be
against
able
any
to do
community.
that. Not with words,
Right?
but through art. And I think that's a really
Any
important
community.
way of storytelling for the masses to see it and understand it and appreciate it. And so for that, I just want to say thank you so much, congratulations,
stockpiling.
and look forward to your
Vinny?
continued contributions without me in it. And
So should you.
without me
You
in
should
it.
be
And
stockpiling.
but again, congratulations. Thank you for all your great work. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
did,
Councilmember
Kevin.
Soto Martinez, followed by Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Council President. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Padilla, for bringing such an amazing legend, una leyenda, here in the city of Los Angeles.
I'm sorry, my kids laugh anytime anybody calls me a legend. They're laughing right
Your
now.
dad is indeed a legend. I was 11 years old when Prop 187 passed. Grew up in South Central Los Angeles, and then one of the few to go to UC Irvine. And at that time, the student body was about 4% Latino. Early internet times, and I stumbled across your art. And I can't tell you how many times I would go back to that just to feel inspired and to see what was going on, because it gave sort of a connection behind the orange curtain about what was happening. And uplifting art was one of my favorite things. And I have a few of your pieces signed by you in my house. The hustle is real. You're always out there in the community, bringing the prints to the folks. And so I was lucky to be at a community event and bought a few. And of course, I mentioned this to you privately, but my favorite one is of Miguel Contreras with the UFW wings, flying into heaven after his passing in 2005. And so, you're a legend. You're just a living legend. I just want to thank you for coming here and getting your flowers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, they all pander.
Thank you.
Yes, they're all
Councilmember
good at it.
Hernandez, followed by Councilmember De Leon.
They really are.
Thank you, Council President. Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Councilmember Padilla, for bringing in, these legends into our chambers. I really appreciate the work you've done over the years, but most importantly, the work you've done recently, especially around COVID-19, where a lot of our communities were like, nah, that's not us, or no, it's not going to impact me, or no, I don't need to wear a mask. And you really helped digest information in a way that they could receive it, so that they could see the
prop up the
importance of
shandemic.
protecting themselves, of moving through this pandemic. So thank you for helping save lives in our communities in that way. Gustavo, you're cool, even though you're from the OC. We'll accept you. But congratulations, Lalo, for this recognition. And I can't wait to see how you're going to tell our stories, too, because, you know, there's a shift happening. There's new leaders in play, and we just got a lot of stories to show. So thank you for being here, and congratulations.
Got a shift.
Thank
happening.
you. Councilmember De Leon,
Yassi,
followed by
thank you so
Councilmember
much for
Park.
the dono.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I too also want to associate my comments with
Good
my
to see you
colleagues.
over here.
Councilwoman Padilla, thank you very much.
Yeah, I was kicked off last night for 30 days. Ian, just so
And
you
I
know,
like the
on
way
Twitch.
that
Mr. De Leon,
Yes,
one
sir.
moment, please.
We're showing
I
the
just
LAPD
want to let
stuff.
everybody know there will be no disruption to this council meeting. Anyone who shouts out while someone else is speaking will be removed from this council chambers. So that's the only warning I'm going to give to anybody in the council chambers. There won't be disruption to this meeting. Okay, whoever is shouting out, can you please?
Who is that?
You're excluded from the meeting pursuant to Rule 12. All right, Mr. De Leon, please continue.
Thank you much, Mr. President. Lalo, I want to
That's it,
thank
holy
you very
shit.
much. 'Cause I want to
Willie,
associate
thank you
my
so
comments with
much. I
Monica
appreciate
Rodriguez,
you, Willie. Thank you.
Because you speak to our history, the empowerment of our history. And I
Let's
know
go,
the first
Willie.
time I got to know you was back in 187 when you did what is my favorite, cartoon, political cartoon, which was Migra Mouse. And Migra Mouse was very powerful because at that time we had gone down, we had marched 187, we had our voices were being heard. We went down to Orange County, we went down to Anaheim, we protested right in front of Disneyland. I know that these security officers came out from Disneyland. We were scared. They took us into their executive offices. They were like Secret Servicemen, not with armed guards, but with little earpieces in. And we had the Migra Mouse, poster with us as well too. They weren't too happy about that, as you can imagine, right? But it was powerful because you speak to our history, you speak to the current events, and you do it in a way that is provocative, controversial, but it's not mean-spirited. You don't put your own community down too, which I think is something that's very powerful too. How can you uplift our community without putting our community down at the same time? Because without question, we have profound deep fissures in our society. And speaking about the profound inequities and how it impacts people of color, but to the point whether you live in Ball Heights or you live in Santana, right, or you live in East San Jose or Logan Heights, ultimately at the end of the day, we're the same community. You are, and they're right, my colleagues are right, you are a legacy figure, and you should own that. Don't run away from it, own it, because how many political cartoonists do we have in the community to begin with? How many Latino columnists do we have to begin with? We can count it probably on one hand. Simply, and mainstream media has simply not picked this up for a whole variety of reasons that obviously we can get into and speak onto ours. But thank you very much for your powerful voice, speaking truth to power, which is absolutely critical, but at the same time uplifting our community, which empowers all of us and makes us proud. We're all proud that what you do. We're all proud of the history making of all of your works of art, political cartoons, but they're works of art too that belong in the museum. So with that, felicidades y que viva Lalo. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Park, followed by Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Thank you, Council President and Councilwoman Padilla. Thank you so much for the presentation, Mr. Alcaraz. It is just a real pleasure to have you here today. And I echo what my colleagues said, but I wanted to let you know that for me personally, the more I discover your art and your storytelling, the more of a fangirl I actually become. I am personally very lucky to have your artwork hanging here in my office in City Hall and in my office at my district office in Westchester.
They like sucking people off.
Your whimsical
Other Democrats.
representation of one of my favorite moments of my life is something that I get to see every day. And you really do bring a smile to my face every day right here in City Hall. So thank you. It's a pleasure to have you
You'll
here.
never see anybody from MAGA standing at that podium getting a frame.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Padilla, for bringing this great presentation and indeed a legend to this chamber this morning. I just wanted to associate myself with the comments of all of my colleagues
tongue punching it.
and add to that this. And I am grateful to you for what we on the streets or in the community we call the clap back. Sometimes when communities are under assault, like the Latino community was under an all-out assault in the early 1990s through the mid-90s. 187 was just one of the things that people,
what about the Latino
mainstream corporations
now under assault
were taking an all-out
due to the DA not prosecuting any
Latino
crime.
community, and you would come out
Like
with
actual real
what
assault.
we call agitational propaganda, things that would move people just
robbing,
on site. They didn't have to read
murdering,
anything.
assaulting.
They just had to see it and feel something.
Not
And
that.
I can remember just a short story that you might appreciate. We were door knocking and canvassing against 187 during that election
Willie,
cycle.
whether he does or
And
doesn't, he'll
sometimes
never get a frame up
when
there.
you
That
encounter
poor
somebody
be
who wasn't
honored
watching the
anyway,
news, they would be
not
like,
even
well,
an
what is
OPG
this? And
folder.
why should I be against? Like, what's happening exactly? And you couldn't quite explain. And your
That's it,
like
Jenna.
Migra came out. The Migra mouse came out, and we just started showing that to people, and they were like, "Oh, we got it. We're all in." And I will tell you, and you can
Chrome.
wear this as a badge of honor.
see it.
At least in South LA, you ruined a lot of trips to Disneyland that fall because families said we're not spending any money with that corporation. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Never
Councilmember
more.
Padilla to
If
close.
at any time they shouldn't be spending money
Thank
with
you,
that
colleagues, for all of your
corporation.
great
It's right now.
comments. I really, you all know, I think you've all
Shout out to
noticed
you,
how much I
Kathleen
love
Kennedy.
comedy, so I really appreciate the laughter that everybody contributed with your own comments. But now, for that moment, on behalf of the city of Los Angeles, Lalo, we would like to present you with
Ain't
this
time to eat.
resolution.
It ain't time. You're way early.
All right, let's hear it for Lalo Alcaraz. Thank you all very much.
That's really true, Vinny.
All
And,
right.
and
thank you so
not
much.
just
We
LA.
can go next
For quite
to
a few
the
teams.
public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. First, Madam Clerk, for an
I
announcement.
mean, really, the state of California, because I'm pretty sure he
Just
works.
to clarify, for
all the great
item
picking
number
for the
3,
Warriors, too.
which was continued, the council date is
Without him, you
June
wouldn't have had
26,
Kobe Bryant. You traded
2024,
for
so item 3
Vlade
is continued
Divac.
to June 26, 2024, sir.
All right, without objection,
That
that
might
would
have
be the
went
order.
down as some of the worst
Let's
trade-
go
worst trade
next
in
to the
history
public comment section
of
of our meeting.
sports.
So, Madam
You
Clerk,
missed
Mr.
out on
City
Kobe
Attorney, if you could
Bryant
please read in the instructions
for
comment.
Vlade Divac.
Yes, sir. As indicated
Who was a
on
solid
the
everyday
agenda,
player.
members of the public
Let's
wishing to
not,
offer public
uh,
comment should call
let's not talk shit about Vlade too much. He was a good, solid player.
669-254-5252 and use
There you
meeting
go,
ID
guys.
number
If you'd like to call in,
160-535-8466
voice your
and then press
legal
pound.
right and
Press
opinion.
pound again when prompted for
What's up, Brock? How are
participant
you, buddy?
ID. Once admitted
I like
to
the-
the
like
meeting,
the
press star
quadruple
9 to
shout out.
request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star
E-Honda?
6 to unmute.
Why are you guys going so
Again,
crazy
call
on the E-Honda comment?
669-254-5252
all
and
you
use
guys
meeting
in the
ID
chat,
number
messages on
160-535-8466,
online.
then press pound.
Let's go.
Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted to the
E-Honda,
meeting,
got him.
press star 9 to request to speak. When it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask to press star 6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium
gross
or on the
looking.
phone,
Slick today.
please
Look at that
state
hair.
which of the agenda items you would like to speak to.
Good old
You will have
fantastic.
1 minute
Oh,
per item,
no, look at the
up
back.
to 2 minutes
Looks like
total
he was sleeping
for
again.
the
In
items
Prius
open for
in the
public
morning.
comment. This is because we
Like
only
this
have
in the
2
back.
items
So
that are
just the
open for
top
public
back
comment
hooked
today
up.
on the agenda. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items number 1 and items number 2. Again, the items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items number 1 and 2.
Oh, so
Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment.
So that means there's only
During
3
general
minutes
public
of
comment,
talk max.
members of the public may speak to any of the other items or
So,
anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction.
Under over, guys,
For members
is
of the public calling
21.
in, when it is your turn to speak,
21.
an automated message from Zoom
That
will
gives
prompt you to
them
press
one every
star
10
6 to
seconds
unmute
plus.
yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you will forfeit your speaking time and we will move on to the next caller. Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak,
It is, Donnie. That's why
please
we
keep
watch
an
it.
ear to the phone so you know
Bunch
in
of
real
clowns.
time when it is your turn to press star 6 to unmute. Second,
Barnum and Bailey
if you're
at
listening
its
to this
finest.
meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the time delay and feedback, it will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen
Bunch
on
of
your other
unders.
devices.
There's some
Thank you.
overs now. Oh boy, it's getting even now.
All right, so just to clarify that a little bit, I know there are a number of people here who want to speak about item 16. You will be able to do so, but it will be general public comment. So you'll have 1 minute to speak about that item, even though comment was already taken on that item in committee. So
Great.
With that, I'm going to start calling.
So if you don't
some
get your
names
general
of
comment,
people
and if
who
you
wish
want to talk
speak.
about that
As
item,
I
you
call
have to
your
waste
name,
your general
please
comment
make
to
your
talk
way
about
to
it.
your
We got it,
left-hand side
Commie.
of the council chambers.
We got
and
it,
our
Commie.
sergeants will be able to direct you up to the podium. You don't need to
Communist
speak in
Krikorian
the
over
order that
here.
I call you, but please wait until I call your name to start lining up. So I'd like to call
No, I don't count
Gabriel
the us.
Regalado,
That's why it's hard to decipher.
Robert Collins,
When he says
Tequila
sometimes
Richmond,
or I only count the ums.
Micah Harris, Enrique Gaspar, Yanet Martinez, Israel Gonzalez Loza,
I mean, we can count us
Daniela
and
Barranco.
If we do that, I got to change the line.
Emily Madre, Mariana, Chauncey Smith, Edward Anderson, and Sheila Bates.
So if we count us and
morning.
it's 23. Under
Good
or
morning.
over
If you
23.
could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items
The
you'd like
line
to speak
bumps
to.
by 2.
Good morning. My name is Gabriel Regalado. I'm going to speak on item 16. I'm representing the Social Justice Learning Institute, the Push LA Coalition. I'm also a resident of Hyde Park, and I'm a LAUSD parent. And so I just wanted to stress upon the council the need to push the effective implementation of Push LA's policy recommendations around self-enforcing safe street infrastructure, decriminalizing motorists, and the alarming rate at which black and brown motorists are subjected to these pretextual stops. But again, it's not just the drivers. It's really overall in South LA and Hyde Park in particular. You know, I live in the avenues of Hyde Park, and those of you who are familiar with that area know that it's a very difficult place to not just drive, but walk or ride your bike. The streets are very narrow. There are stop signs at every other intersection, and there are no speed bumps. It makes it very dangerous for those of us navigating these streets.
Not to mention the gang.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under.
My name is Robert
Dad and
Collins.
The items you'd like to
Fresh
speak
Prince?
to.
And I'm speaking on item 16.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm here to tell my story about pretextual stops. I'm a staff member at Community Coalition. I'm with Push LA as a member. And this has been going on for decades. I mean, really decades. As a young man, I get stopped by the police, I guess because my Chevy car was a two-tone primer, first car I had. And I get stopped for no reason. Decades later, get stopped for the same things, just driving, having a nice time in the community. And it's like, first thing they ask you is,
can you pause this time?
Are you on parole?
Speaker, I'm sorry. We're going to pause your time.
I'm sorry. And Stacy Cigar Bollinger, you're disrupting the meeting, and you're interrupting this speaker as he's trying to give his public comment. So please be silent, or you'll be removed from this meeting immediately.
Uh-oh, Stacy already getting in trouble.
I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Decades later, you get stopped for no reason, having a good time, right? Just enjoying your music, windows down because you don't have air conditioning. And the first thing they ask you is, are you on parole or probation? I haven't did anything that leads to search my car if I'm on parole or probation. It's the same thing for decades. Now it's like they're going to stop you. They're going to have 7 police cars stop you, a helicopter, and you land on the ground handcuffed, and they ask them why your car was stolen. The car was never stolen 75% of the time. Thank you.
What?
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Come on, man. Stop it.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the
I've
name
been
you
pulled
signed
over
up
so
under
much
and
that
the
I'm
items
wide
you'd
as
like to
can be.
speak
I'm
to.
almost see-through.
My name is Micah Harris. I'm speaking on item number 16.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. So my name is Micah Harris. I'm a member of Community Coalition, which is part of the Push LA, and we thank you for hopefully taking the action on this issue. This issue is about pretextual stops. A lot of
look who's
times,
walking
the
in,
cars
Mr.
that we
Herman.
drive in are like rolling jail boxes or prison boxes, because we fear that as soon as we get into a car, we're definitely subject to getting pulled over. And it's really
He's not even
touches
talking to
because
anybody.
we're African American,
Spindler.
black and brown
Herman.
people,
Herman.
always are scared to deal with the police in the public. And so every time we get in a car, we're like, we're taking a risk, because that's just kind of the attitude and the awareness that it has on us. And so when you guys vote on this issue, just taking into consideration that there's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety when it comes to being in the community and being worried about being pulled over. So thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Next speaker, please.
They all got the same shirts.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under.
Buenos días, estimados miembros del concilio.
Good morning, members of the council. Señor, ¿se puede hablar un poquitito y luego parar para que yo lo pueda ir traduciendo? Habla un poquito, después haga una pausa y yo lo traduzco. Gracias.
Sí. Gracias por permitirme dirigirme a ustedes. Yo soy miembro de la coalición comunitaria.
Thank you for letting me talk with you. I'm a member of Community Coalition.
Sí, también somos parte de lo que es Push a Ley.
And we're also part of Push a Ley.
Sí, y estoy aquí porque como miembro de la comunidad en la parte sur de California, me permito hablarle a ustedes. Nosotros conocemos la función de la policía y del poder coercitivo que debe tener y las funciones completas. Sin embargo, hemos venido notando las excesivas paradas pretextuales que han venido haciendo la policía.
Okay, so I am here. It's an honor to talk with you today. I understand the function of the police department. I'm here representing the south area, and I've been noticing all these stops, protective stops that they've been increasing. Continúe, señor.
Sí, a veces no sé cómo entender esto, como que la policía está desarrollando una política de recaudación excesiva, una política recaudatoria y no una política de prevención.
I feel that the police at this point is developing policy of collecting more than protecting.
Sí. Nosotros quisiéramos que ustedes tuvieran de sus buenos oficios en función de revisar ese trabajo de la policía. Muchas gracias. Buen día.
We would like, if in your position, if you can review these kind of things that the police are doing.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mi nombre es Janet Martínez. Soy miembro de Community Coalition y es parte de Push LA.
Oh, speaker, can you just pull the mic? Oh, thank you.
Sí, ¿puede repetir su nombre, señora?
Thank you.
¿Cómo es su nombre, señora?
Mi nombre es Janet Martínez y soy miembro de Community Coalition y es parte de Push LA.
Okay, my name is Janet Martinez. I am a member of Community Coalition, which is part of Push LA.
Estoy aquí para agradecerles por ayudarnos a poner alto a las detenciones.
I am here to say thank you, to help us to put a stop on the detentions.
Por ejemplo, a mi hijo lo detuvieron por estar hablando por teléfono.
For example, my son was detained because he was talking on the phone.
Eso no era cierto.
And that wasn't true.
Guys, I'm going to go run and feed him before I miss something
Solo
good.
lo traía
I'll be right back.
el teléfono al lado.
Ready to eat?
That is not true because he wasn't talking on the phone. He just had the phone sitting at his side.
¿Podemos alegar con un policía?
Can we really argue with a policeman? No.
No. Si se fue a casa con una multa de más de $200.
He came back home with a ticket that was over $200.
En vez de detener por cosas insignificantes,
instead of detaining people for
deberían
little
ayudarnos
things, they should help us
I'm sorry. Okay. Deberían ayudarnos de no dar ticket.
They should help us by not giving us tickets.
A mi hijo le causó no pagar renta.
This ended up causing to my son that he couldn't pay his rent.
Deberían de ayudar en vez de perjudicar.
They should help instead of harm.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning.
Israel Gonzalez, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Good morning, council members. My name is Israel Gonzalez Loza. I'm a proud first-generation Mexican-American, son of immigrants. I'm here representing Chirla and the coalition Push LA. Push LA has been calling for changes to how the police handles pretextual stops. Our immigrant community is often targeted by these stops. For many of our families, historically, a traffic stop has meant a line to the deportation pipeline. Although we now have protections in the state of California, those fears never go away. When officers use these types of pretext stops, these officers should be trusted individuals in our community. I want my parents to not live in fear of getting pulled over. I want to raise my family in my community while feeling safe. I encourage the council to continue to listen to our community voices and stop these stops. Thank you to Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson and Councilmember Eunices Hernandez for your ongoing support. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Daniela Barranco. I am giving general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Good morning. I am a Chirla member and an immigrant from Mexico. I'm here as part of the Push LA coalition to put an end to pretextual stops that are used to initiate searches and racially profile Black and brown individuals. We thank the City Council for passing the directive Move LA Closer to ending racially biased pretextual stops, ending economic extractions through ticket fees and fines, and improving street infrastructure to improve traffic safety. Keeping our community safe also means that our communities don't feel targeted by pretextual stops. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to continuing our work to stop the stops.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Emily Madre, and I'll be giving general public comment. I am a member of Chirla and a proud first-generation Guyanese American, daughter of immigrants. Chirla is a member of Push LA, and we are here to encourage the council to stop the stops. As a member of the immigrant community, many of my family and friends have been subjected to unwarranted stops by the police. The LA DOT Advisory Task Force report outlines a comprehensive set of recommendations to end racially biased pretextual traffic stops, and the city should adopt these policies as soon as possible. I look forward to seeing the council take these steps to make our immigrant Black and brown communities feel safer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Good morning.
Grand Rising. My name is Tequila Richmond, Queen Tequila, and I'm speaking on item 16 in regards of our community and the continuous harassment from LAPD and not just Los Angeles Police Department, but all police departments in Los Angeles County, considering Hawthorne and Culver City as well. I have been a victim of all harassments. They have taken my cars. And not just that, but also feeling safe in my own home. The Division of 77 Department of Los Angeles Department has barricaded and kicked in my door, looking for someone that didn't even reside in my home. I informed them that that person did not live there. So we need to feel safe, period, in our community. And for me to not feel safe in my own home, for my baby girl to have to say, oh, every time she sees the police, are they gonna do something to us now? That's not safe. That's not a good mind state or a mental health for our youth or for us as a people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop the stops.
Next speaker, please.
But they took in your car, so don't worry about it. You ain't going to get pulled over
Which
anymore.
items would you like to speak to?
General public comment and item 16.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
All right. My name is Chauncey Smith, and I work at Catalyst, California. And
I'm gonna
Catalyst,
get
California is a
taken
member of the
tattooed
Push
on
LA
my chest.
Coalition. which stands for Promoting Unity, Safety, and Health in Los Angeles. I'd like to ask the City Council to pass item 16 to move us closer to ending racially biased pretextual stops. And the reason is because all Angelenos deserve to live in communities with safe streets. And with that goal in mind, we also deserve to be treated fairly by our government as we go about the process of achieving that end. However, by committing resources and dollars to law enforcement, LAPD, and pretextual stops, we missed the mark on both of those fronts.
That's it, Alex.
So if you look at traffic safety outcomes over the course of the past 20 years, we're now at an all-time high. And if you look at who is being stopped by LAPD, it shows that Black and Latinx folks are disproportionately being stopped. In addition to ending pretextual stops, we need greater investments in road infrastructure in high-need communities, and we need to end traffic ticket fees and fines and help people address traffic safety risks.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Thank you, Talvish. Connect those dots, Talvish.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up
She
under
needed
and
to
the
connect
items
the
you'd like to
dots.
speak to.
Yeah. Good morning, Mariana Magaña, and I'll be speaking on item 16.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Good morning, council members. Mariana Magaña with Catalyst California, formerly known as Advancement Project, and also a member of Push LA. We are here today in support of item 16, which is the motion for alternatives to traffic enforcement. First, we want to thank the Transportation Committee and the Public Safety Committee for moving this item forward. This motion was first introduced in 2020, and so it's been 4 years since then, but it's still highly relevant today. Ending racially biased pretextual traffic stops, ending economic extraction through tickets, fees, and fines, improving street infrastructure that's self-enforcing, and implementing care-based teams can truly build a safe LA. We are looking forward to continuing our work with the city once these directives move forward to successfully complete the reports coming up. The city of LA truly has the ability to be a leader with this motion today and truly has the ability to save lives in the city of LA. Thank you.
Thank you. Before our next speaker comes up, I'm going to call a few more names. Sequarier McCoy, Donald Harlan, Shiloh Sarah Burke, Candido, Adrian Scott Fine,
so we got
Tony V,
the Great Panderer,
Jeffrey Sumners, and Ezekiel Banuelos.
And I'm guessing that Donald Harlan
My name is Reverend Eddie Anderson. I'm the senior pastor of
either
McCarty
Stacy
Church, talking on general
or
public
Herman.
comment in item 16. This morning, I just come to talk to you about a conversation that my father had with me, and his father had with him, and his father had with him. It's a conversation that as a black person or as a brown person in this country, you cannot move freely. It's a conversation that says that driving while black, driving while brown is an actual thing. It is a trauma that all of us have to experience. It is a fear that all of us wake up with every day, that our cop light's going to show up in our rearview mirror, and when we stop, will we die? Will we go to jail? Will we have an extra tax? And so we stand before you today as Push LA, as people of faith who understand the scripture says we must bear each other's burdens, and ask you to stand up, take courage to change the conversation. That in Los Angeles, all Angelenos deserve dignity. In Los Angeles, all Angelenos deserve safety.
How are you?
In Los Angeles, we can do something different. Please vote yes on item 16.
Smoke. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the...
all items and public comment.
Nice
Okay,
face
so
diaper.
you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
She has a Black Lives Matter shirt on.
In regards to the transportation report, it was the murder of George Floyd and an uprising that followed and the space that made space for this motion to be introduced in the first place. It represents a change that only comes, like so much, it comes in the wakes of policies and practices that are rooted in racism that ultimately kill and criminalize black people. It's policing in general that hails from slave catchers. It's police who show up to auto accidents like the one that killed Keenan Anderson when LAPD showed up. And he is not the only one, and it demonstrates what we know, that these stops are nothing more than a mechanism for criminalization and terror. We demand that not only an end to pretextual stops, but an end to the economic extraction through tickets, fines, and fees, and a significant investment in self-enforcing infrastructure. City Council should not just adopt this motion for yet another study, but it needs to do so expeditiously and then you ultimately need to adopt the policy changes outlined by Push LA. These are the strategies that actually keep us safe and represent real public safety. It has been 4 years. In that time, Keenan Anderson was murdered.
So,
this
Speaker,
isn't the ultimate
that's
action.
your general public comment.
Yes,
If
thank
you'd
you.
like to speak about items number 1 or 2, you can. We have a lot of people here.
My
which is
public
why we have
comment
to
is, I'm doing my public comment now. My
So-
public comment
so,
is regarding
Speaker,
Kevin
that was
DeLeo.
your general public comment.
That's what I'm doing now. Can you reset
Okay.
my time for the minute for public comment since
Thank you very
interrupted
much.
me?
You already used it. Your
That's
time's
it.
expired.
No, it's not.
time for
My
the next
public
speaker.
comment. No, I was speaking on items on the agenda. My item regarding public comment was
I'm
about
sorry.
Kevin
Item 16
DeLeon.
is not,
who should
as
not
I
be able
announced
to
at the
be
beginning, item
on city
16 is
council in the
not
first
open for
place,
public
because there is no room
comment, so
for
we're taking
racists
it on
in LA.
general public comment, so each speaker has 1 minute to speak about item 16. Please have a seat and be silent for the rest of the
Cry me
meeting,
a
or else
river
you'll be
to the
removed.
sea.
Okay, whoever is shouting is disrupting the meeting, and they're ordered removed.
Oh, a little
pursuant to Rule
BLM over here trying to grift for another
And
mansion.
Just for the record, there were 2 separate public hearings at committee.
Shout out to
during
all
which
you
public comment was
BLMers out
exhausted,
there.
which is why item number 16 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So we have a lot of people
Thank you,
here who
Ian.
would like to talk about that item specifically. So we ask that
Get the
everybody
hype
please
train
stick to
going
it.
on YouTube.
Good morning.
Thank you,
Could
Ian. I
please remind
appreciate
us
you,
of
bro.
the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hi, I'm Donald Harlan.
Oh my God, it's him!
Number 1 and 2, and general comment.
Cat, you're
I'm
here.
sorry,
Cat,
I
are you
couldn't
here?
hear you. Can you say that one more time, please?
Cat, are you here?
Items number 1, items number 2, and general comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
here.
Please begin with the items.
He's here.
Okay, agenda item number 1, the Business Improvement District for the South Los Angeles Industrial Tract property. I want to remind the city and the people working in the city and the people here at the city council that are working here need to be reminded also that the BID money is just for cleanup. It's not for developing businesses. It's not for building real estate. It's not for anything like that. The BID is just to clean up. You know, what day the trash man comes by, and what day the street sweeper comes by, and what day the maintenance guy comes by to fix the street light, you know, all that stuff. But there's some misunderstanding about what that is. And there's a belief that you're going to get the cleanup money from assessments from the properties. If the property's illegally developed, you're not able to spend any of the money out of there. There is city workers that are employed to clean up, and they really just need to do their job. There's no such thing as a clean air money that you guys are spending to be doing this. There's no such thing as CEQA. Yeah, that's too bad about agenda item number 1 and 2. Yeah, it's just money to clean up, and you guys need to make it real clear to those people in there that that's all that's for. And it costs money to do that, you know. I mean, push people out there. I understand that all that cleaning takes time and money. And that's within the city budget. It's not for you to be trying to make contracts or make deals and stuff. And I don't know why anybody from BID would be planning real estate development. That's not even something they do. Okay, general comment.
General public comment?
Let's see. There's no such thing as a historical cultural monuments committee in the city. That's to be shut down. There's no cultural affairs committee. That needs to be shut down. The Los Angeles City and County Native American Indian Commission is not real. You don't even have any Native Americans here. Your Board of Transportation Commission is not real. There's Los Angeles Department of Transportation. The City Council is not to be spending money from the Los Angeles Department of Transportation. You're to restore fares to the city ride buses. It seems that the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, the city ride, is overrun with people that are just, it looks like they're doing the job, but really they're causing crime around the city. I'm directing that everybody here working at the Horseshoe, working in the city, has their college degrees taken away. And anybody that they gave.
Thank you very much, Mr.
It's so good to see him
Next
again.
speaker, please.
He's back. He's alive. He really is good. Ian and Allison, thank
Okay,
you so much,
thank you,
Ian
Mr.
and
Brown.
Allison.
Your
You
time
guys
has
rock.
expired.
Thank you for the donos.
Your time is
I just haven't
expired,
heard him
Mr.
such a
Allen.
long
There's
time.
no
I didn't want
disruption.
to talk over him.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning. If you could please remind
Man,
us
it's
of the
good
name
to see
you signed
him.
up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, he seems like he's
Aquaria
on,
Item
maybe
16,
Prozac or
public
something.
comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Something to calm his ass down.
I'm a COCO member. On August 31st, 2020, my nephew Dejan Kazee was murdered in a traffic stop. It is my strong urge, ask from my family, my community, that you take Push LA very seriously due to the solutions that it brings. Black and brown people are being killed every day in Los Angeles over mere traffic stops. My nephew was on his bike, and he's no longer with us. A lot of time and energy are spent, and resources are spent in so many ways that are not producing the effects that we need in our communities. I support Push LA. My family supports Push LA along with my community. Please take it serious. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Look who's walking
Next speaker,
in.
please.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under
This
and the
guy's
items
trolling.
you'd like to speak
He
to.
has to be.
My name is Azika Banguelos, and I requested
Sorry,
for
her.
public comment on number 3.
Okay, so number 3 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general if you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
You can go ahead, but you have 1 minute to go ahead and speak on that item.
I could discuss it for 1 minute?
Yes, you have
Yes,
1 minute.
go right
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Marilyn Monroe's house has huge historical significance to the entire world, not just in Hollywood history. I'm suggesting that the current owners should sell the property and use the money to relocate it, and they could buy a newly built property so that they could save millions of dollars in so they won't have to pay millions of dollars in renovation. And the house needs to be turned into a museum like the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. And it is one of the most important historical monuments in Marilyn Monroe's lifetime. It is the only house that she lived in. And losing the house would be a devastating blow to Maryland fans around the world. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I'm going to call a few
gotta
more
be a
names.
troll,
Andrew
right?
Gravener, Stacy Cigar.
Oh, here we go. Remember, name that
Dr.
tune.
G, Amy Mintier,
I want the artist and the
Brianna
song title.
Vargas,
First one
Israel
wins.
Gonzalez, and Jay Richardson.
Put it in the chat.
Good morning. May I please speak on both of the bid items and general public comment?
Of course. So you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Under
public
over
comment. Please begin
23.
with the items.
Under
Thank
over
you, Brett. It's good to see you
23.
today. So business
For
improvement
us and
districts, I think, are one of the many programs we have in Los Angeles where I believe with the spirit of what the policy is behind, but not with the execution. And I don't think we can argue that the result bears good fruit. Some things that are really good for business that we could prioritize in the business improvement districts are things like heavy pedestrian traffic, which is supplemented with fairless, universal free public transportation, affordable homes, and accessible parking for workers who do things in that neighborhood, like serve you coffee or food in restaurants or run the places where you like to shop for clothes or groceries. Because oftentimes workers don't have a place to park and they can't afford to live in that neighborhood, and of course that contributes to traffic as well when they're commuting from other places. So if we focused on those things, that would be great for business. Things that aren't good for business that we're seeing in both of these districts, particularly in Studio City, where I live really near to, things like empty storefronts, a lack of parking, no public restroom access. A while back, when Nithya and I were still friends, I proposed an idea to her called an urban rest stop or a public resource center, where we collect a tax levy from corporate businesses and build nice, clean public restrooms, and we pay staff to secure them and clean them round the clock. And that would be great for business, because it is unfair to expect them to take the burden of everyone's piss and shit in LA, but we gotta piss and shit somewhere. And it would be great for businesses if we could leave the house without having to make a plan for where we're gonna use the bathroom. You should hear the things she said. When I tell you, you'll be dead. 'Cause we asked about parking. Nithya
Katy
said there's
Perry.
plenty. No, she really said that. Parking's not something to lack.
What song is
And
it?
despite the vacancies, she wants to build more density. And when we gave her 2 whole minutes to respond, she sneered. She could not believe we would time her speech. She was mad. Last Monday night, yeah, we asked about safety, and she said, let's
Yeah,
build
Jamie.
housing. We need more vacancies. Last Monday night, we asked if private equity should
was that
be banned
Pink?
from
No.
owning
I
LA
thought that was
rental
Katy Perry.
property, and she said no. Nithya
Last Friday
Raman.
He and you what?
Last Monday night at the song meeting. That's right, she said no. She also said we have lots of parking. I don't know about any of you. I think that's a lie. Shout out to Smoke and Scan, Brock Landers, Stinks, and my loves, Andrew and Camille.
Oh, stink team. You
Next
got a
speaker.
shout out from Stacy. So did Brock. Yeah, I got Katy Perry. I just couldn't think of the track. I don't know Katy Perry all that
Please
well.
remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Tony Villanueva, and I'd like to speak on item number 3 that was deferred, but still, if I can make public comment.
Of course.
Yes.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning, council members. My name is Tony Villanueva. I live in Hollywood, Council District 4. I'm here today to ask for your support in designating Marilyn Monroe's residence in Brentwood as a historic cultural monument, and this is why. Historic. Marilyn Monroe's story isn't even more relevant today. In 1962, for a single 36-year-old actress businesswoman to purchase her own home was a very powerful move and should be recognized as historic. Cultural. Marilyn Monroe's contribution to Los Angeles and the film industry is landmark. 62 years after her death, her image is still immediately recognized as an iconic symbol of Hollywood. Monument. The dictionary defines monument as a statue, building, or structure to commemorate a famous or notable person or event. That was Marilyn Monroe. Helena Drive was Marilyn Monroe's last home. This is significant because it relates directly to the history of our city and Hollywood. There are lots of options for new development, but it takes years to create character and a history. It's gone.
Thank you.
If it's left.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Next
here we
speaker.
go. 23 on ums and uhs. His hair's looking
Morning.
great
Which
today.
items would you like to speak to?
Just general comment today.
Okay. so you
Oh
have 1
man,
minute for general public
11
I
under
hope,
over 11.
all those other items that you introduced you apparently already had a hearing on. I hope you all watched all the committee meetings, all the public comment. All 15 of you have watched the YouTube feeds. If they haven't, you should reopen public comment on all those items, because clearly the whole council has not heard public comment on them.
It's true.
Because I mean, literally, public comment is to give our thoughts on these items to the council members. But if the whole council has not heard those items, then clearly they haven't really had a full public hearing yet, because not every council member has heard public comment on those items. So now I wonder why did you remove Baba Akili without giving him a warning? Because you're required to give people warnings before removing people from the meeting. See, you didn't give him a single warning. And Kevin De Leon needs to go, and this one's for you, Imelda.
4.
Thank
He
you.
contained
Next speaker,
himself.
please.
Did well today. Oh god, this liberal loon.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Public comment. Yeah, this
Put your face
stops
diaper back
with
on.
cops. You know, one of the things that is not in this measure 16 or in this proposal is that the LAPD needs to be removed from these stops entirely. They come with their weapons, they come with all their gear, they come with their excuses to harm and to kill. That's what they want to do as they're stopping these cars. And that's what they are doing. Plus, you know, it makes money for the city. This is a completely ridiculous approach to traffic control, to have cops out there, especially the LAPD. I think they have proven themselves in recent weeks to be the violent, armed responders that they are, especially as they have behaved at UCLA and USC. The other thing I want to comment on is that this council has not yet said
Thank you
cease.
very much. Thank you. Your time
Thank
has
you. We don't give a
expired.
fuck about your ceasefire.
Thank you very
We've
much.
cut your mic.
Your time's
Go
expired.
put your face diaper back
Next
on, and
speaker,
we'll
please.
see you in November voting for us again.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Good morning, council members. My name is Brianna Vargas. I am speaking under general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
So like I said, my name is Brianna Vargas. I'm a community college student, and I'm also a former high school dropout. I'm an avid believer that I dropped out of high school because I never had the resources. I was never given the idea that I could join clubs or that I could ever get good grades. And as I see my younger brother going down the same path with the lack of resources, I see the books, the textbooks that he's given, and they are you could tell they've been used. And this is so confusing to me because my federal government is giving Israel much support, much financial support for war crimes. And I want to know that my local government is supporting me and all of the outraged college students behind me that are pushing for a ceasefire. Because as I'm going into college under a poli-sci major, I'm learning that a lot of the change starts at the local level. Even though these are many heinous acts from the federal government, this is a local issue as well.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my girlfriend's next.
All right.
Shit, yeah.
I have now... Mr. Herman, you're disrupting the meeting. Wait, Ms. Richardson, one moment, please, before you begin. Mr. Herman, don't disrupt the meeting. And for the record, you've been disrupting the meeting, including by using your flashlight to shine in council members' eyes. So you're a hair's breadth away from leaving this meeting. So before Ms. Richardson, before you begin, who's shouting out? All right. I have called all of the real names
like
that have
little
signed
kids.
up who are here in council chambers. If you were one of the people who signed up with a ridiculous, obscene, or racist fake name, you are welcome to come up and speak now. Sorry, Ms.
That'd be
Richardson,
you,
go ahead.
Mr. Herman.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
General House, this concerns deaths from the hundreds of apartment buildings in Los Angeles, especially downtown. I've been told that there are hundreds of deaths from these apartments. The LA County Coroner's Office, they accept bodies every day. I don't know exactly where they're coming from, but they say some of these bodies are lying still, and they get up, and they get up and sit up, and then they lie down and die again. I've also heard that these people that are dead get up and walk out the door and don't come back and go to another apartment house and rent it, and then a few months later they're dead again. I don't know if these are real people or if they're regular people that get sick. Some people go into these apartment buildings without money and they hide in there without food, and they might be dying in there. I don't know what the causes are. This man from City Watch came in here about 2 years ago, and he reported to City
Thank you.
Council.
Speaking
Thank
of
you.
dead, I'm
Thank you very
fucking dead
much.
right now. I love
Next
her, man.
speaker, please.
She's great. Look at him taking his own sweet time.
I signed up on all the ridiculous
Good morning.
names,
You have
but
2
I
minutes for
signed
the
up.
items and 1 minute
I
for general
wish to
public
speak
comment.
on all fucking items and my one non-agenda public comment, Mr. Circle K. South Park, motherfucker. Listen, in CD9, the California Constitution says that current price on California streets and highways needs to provide us with safety. That safety emphasizes between the bids. Now, the conflict of interest is whether or not is Mr. Curran Price going to be indicted for his criminal charges. Because if so, then he violates our civil rights to understand the California Constitution that a white fucking bitch politician under BID bid 24-0317 should stop fucking ripping us off. One love, one life. Fuck you, Price. Then I go into item 16, gross.
Item number 16 is not open for public comment.
It
You can
says it
speak
up
to
on
it
the
during
board.
general public comment if you'd like. You've been here for the whole meeting. You know that it is not open for
All right,
public
then
comment.
I'll go to item
So
12,
you
asshole.
can speak on
Item
item number
12.
Let's
2.
go to general public comment.
No, I wish to speak
No,
on
you're
item
going to go
12.
to general public comment. You have 1 minute.
All right. So God hates the faggots. The book of Romans says that is why God gave them up to disgraceful sexual appetites, for both their females changed their natural use of themselves into one contrary to nature, and likewise even the males left the natural use, you females, and became violently inflamed in their lust towards one another, males with males, working what is obscene, like you, gross, like you, dictator, obscene, and receiving in themselves the full recompense which the due for their error. God hates you. You're all going to hell, you fucking faggots. Put another fucking pole out there so you can hang your fucking flags. Because I want my Confederate flag, I want my Indian flag, and I want my goddamn German flag up there because it is constitutional protected free speech. Fuck you.
So you're saying a Nazi flag or
That
a
will
German
close
flag?
comment here in the chambers. We'll go now
that'll,
to the phones.
You
Let's
finish
take our
on a
first
high
caller,
note.
please.
First caller.
Look at his
which
face.
items
Look
would
at
you
his
like to
face.
speak to?
Bro, that face said it all. That face
Caller
said
ending
it
in
all.
7255. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Look at him. Look at him.
Caller.
Yes, speaking on 16
Richard Serrano.
Okay.
and 1.
Okay.
And general public comment.
So you have 1 minute for item number 1, and item 16 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you have 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with item number 1.
Number 1, same thing that's going on out there in Los Angeles, South LA, District 6. We need the parking for, and we're putting a light rail in the district down Van Nuys Boulevard, which is going to end up with a lot of empty buildings. At the end of empty
I
buildings,
got suspended,
we
not
start our
banned.
own gentrification
LSM.
because someone's going to see a
For 30
business there,
days.
take lieu of it,
Be back in
and move
30
forward.
days.
They got no parking spots for the people in the district to get on that light rail, but they say it's for the people in the district. Explain that. If you can't park your car, how can you use it? Well, it wasn't brought up at Sacramento level. Okay, well, then again, you're going to shut down Van Nuys Boulevard from San Fernando Road to Laurel Canyon because there's going to be 1 lane in, 1 lane out, no parking. So what do you do with the businesses there for their parkings? Well, we didn't consider, we told Sacramento that at the upper level. They
General
said,
public comment?
this is coming from Metro. Okay, general public comments. Standing behind Bush LA, Officer Podesta, badge number, serial number 32305, in December 8th, arrested me for a non-arrestable offense, like they were saying, and now I'm asking Troy to take a lieu of it. I've already been to the police commissioner's office, a rubber stamp from his head, Johnny, at 77th. Rubber stamp, 85%, never get done. Emilio Padilla, 9080 Woodman Avenue. They need you to go to the city clerk's office and get that Starbucks done so we don't have the homeless encampment like Ocean View. They've been to the counter twice in the last year. Something's holding them up for that drive-through. They already got the permit for the demo, but we have homeless people living in that place. It's already been a fire there on Sunday, so please come through. I've already talked to Mission Division, met with them out there.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Thank
He
you
was
very much.
referring
Next
to Ocean View, which is the Tagger Towers.
Caller, which
He
items
doesn't
would
want
you
the
like to
same
speak
thing
to?
happening, and now you got homeless living in this property that he's
What's
talking.
up, nerds and virgins?
Which
Brock
items
Landers,
would you
Los
like to
Angeles
speak to?
Private
Good morning.
Investigator. 1, 2, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Right. Number one, business improvement districts. Other than overtaxing them, what do you guys know about business? How's that $20 an hour for fast food going? It doesn't seem well since we've lost, 10,000 jobs since that happened?
That has nothing to do with
Every
bids.
place is business improvement district. When businesses do better, the cities do better. Smoke and Scan isn't part of a bid, and Damon does great. Let's see, number two, in Studio City, close to my office. After helping with an investigation that netted 2 members of ISIS in L.A., I think you guys should give me the money for the bid, or at least a thank you for keeping you safe.
Speaker, this
FYI,
is not
there
on
are
topic,
more,
so
and I'll
please
guess
stick
how
to
they
item
got
number
there.
2, or I'm going to move you to general public comment.
I didn't get a warning?
This
That's
is your
unfair.
warning, so please stick to item number 2, or I'm going to move you
get
to
it.
general public
Hey,
comment.
I get it. I'll let you feel powerful today, big guy. General public comment.
You have
I
1
think
minute.
we should relook at charity boxing. We could get John Phillips from AM 790 to MC. Since Marquise is scared and would never reach out to me, maybe Bob will step up. We could have Brock wielding the Lev Hammer Landers against Bob. I think Eric Easy E. Previn against Gru. Stacy Trailer Swift Bollinger against Nithya. Whenever I hear your name, I think Mike Tyson is saying it. Doctor dropping truth bombs, Truth Bay against Curran. I do have a price. And Andrew Gravener against.
So none of this has
Kevin,
anything to do with the
Corey
business of the council.
DeLeon.
You're just
Hey,
speaking about members of the public.
No, I
Speak
figured
to
that
the
you could thumb
business
wrestle
of
with
the
the goat
council.
A bit, since you're getting a little older in age, maybe that'll let you feel involved. And whoever wins, if the listeners win,
Speaker,
you
you're
guys,
still not
give
on
us a
topic, and this is
comment
repetitive.
we
It's
deserve,
about
and
the
if
same
not,
event.
Okay,
I will
that's
call
enough.
back.
Next caller,
He
please.
said, Curran, I have a price.
Caller, which items would you like to speak to?
That's too funny, dude.
Yeah,
Shout out to Brock.
hi. Just general public
Daniel
comment.
Gus.
Good morning. You have
Daniel
1 minute.
Gus.
Substack.
Go ahead, Grote. DanielGus.substack.com. On May 28th, I warned city officials of dangerous conditions at LA Animal Services, and you and they ignored them. On May 29th, Mr. Krikorian cut off my general public comment because when I spoke on an agenda item, I pointed out that he admitted gross negligence in a injury that resulted in my having a really bad surgery. Had Mr. Krikorian actually followed public meeting laws, you would have received another warning about violent conditions, dangerous conditions at Animal Services, and the city ignored them until 6 days after Leslie Correa was mauled by a dog in LA Animal Services. The only question is, will she get 7-figure settlement
Thank you.
or an
Next
8-figure?
caller, please.
Shout out to Brock. Brock was a
Caller,
great call.
which item
And
would you like to
Daniel
speak to?
Gus. .substack.com. Go check him out.
Private caller, please press *6 to unmute.
Yeah, Daniel
Caller,
don't play
this is your
around.
last opportunity to speak. Please press *6
He's a
to
real
unmute.
journalist. Independent.
We still can't
Next
hear you.
caller,
Finds
please.
corruption.
Next
He
caller.
puts it on blast.
Caller, which items would you like to speak
He's
to?
putting these fools on blast every day.
Good morning. Formally protesting the Brown Act
Robert.
violations, I'll speak on items 1, 2, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes
Item
for the
one.
items and 1 minute for general
Yes.
public comment.
Thanks. Item 1 is for an ordinance for a business improvement district in CD9 to the benefit of indicted criminal embezzler, polygamist, perjurer, current price CD9 district. I demand a no vote on this item until further accounting safeguards are instituted because, in my opinion, just like 15, where Sleazy Dawson is pocketing $3 million in kickback money, any funds from this improvement district motion needs further accounting safeguards built into the system of accounting so that current price is not allowed to siphon off the funds into his family business again. These business improvement district funds should be used for the assistance and improvement of the businesses and citizens instead of the benefit of corrupt black politicians like Curran Price and Dawson. Item 2 is for the establishment of a business improvement district in Studio City. In my opinion, these items should receive a no vote and should not be voted on at all if indicted criminal Curran Price is allowed to vote on these public funds. Further, it is my opinion that this item should 5x5 Uncle Tom hand picked by Nuri Martinez and Pink Face Krikorian, Heather Hutt, is allowed to vote. This item for a business improvement district and all public business should be voted on by legitimately elected representatives instead of someone like Hutt, who has been given millions of dollars to spread around and buy votes. In my opinion, improving the business district should be the goal of this motion and not electing corrupt politicians Heather Hutt and Kern Price. General public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Yes, thank you. The LA City Council is the most corrupt local government in the United States. Not good. Where indicted embezzling criminal Kern Price and Sleazy Dawson to vote daily and appoints unelected Heather Hutt to vote also daily. Public black faces occupy 20% of the Sleazy Council, yet black women are only 4.3% of the population, but 22% of female rape, 36% of female assault, 33% of female homicide, 33% of female violence. Nearly 50% of the homeless, 50% of the incarcerated, and 50% of the unemployed. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Robot dog. Robot dog.
Caller, which items would you like to speak to?
Thank you. It's Eric Previn from Studio City, and I'm here to speak about the Studio City Business Improvement District, the other business district, and also then, of course, the general public comment.
Okay, so good morning. You have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay, there's a lot of, I was looking at the tabulation of the results. So first of all, congratulations to Caro Tarosian for the Austin Family Development LLC. They got 4 $2,100 assessments. And these are the guys who are right opposite. This is on Ventura Boulevard. The Business Improvement District goes from Coldwater to, I believe, Carpenter. And what's the biggest problem with this Business Improvement District is what about the rest of Studio City? It seems to prioritize the central part where there's Chase Bank. And sadly, because of Krikorian's failure and Rahman's failure, you know, there's a lot of missed opportunities, places that are not rented and you know, the rent is so high. But anyway, the ones who stay are all listed. And there are, I looked at this tabulation of the results, there are like 219 different lines, many of which are for the same, like Wave Services, Inc. has it, but many of them are just people's names. Samran Tamloy, you know, you've got Radford Plaza LLC, Pescat, all these businesses.
Thank you. You can move on to your next item now, Mr. Previn.
Well, I'll continue talking about the Business Improvement District with respect to the neighboring community that is in a different section. And Krikorian has always had he's got a good lead on this stuff because he likes to shut people down when they talk about business improvement districts. Because business improvement districts favor hiring guys on Segways to ride around and tase people. That's kind of the main idea. Now, you didn't hear me say I'm against that, but I am against it. But what it is that it leaves everybody out of it except for the people who are paying attention. Worth noting, in the particular business improvement districts before the city council today, many, many non-votes and many, many no votes. It's just
nobody watching their channel, Donnie. We have more than them on their own channel.
Some of us can fight against the machine. Let me know when you feel it's time for general public comment, Grote. And are you paying attention?
Right now.
1 now.
Don't interrupt me, Krikorian. This is general public comment. Thank you. First of all, you should step down. You have removed committee virtual testimony, which your colleagues will look at you and go, yeah, why'd you do that, sir? That's kind of anti-public, anti-transparency. Even as you wrap yourself in a coat of the Ethics Commission that you were on 1 million years ago, and you appointed half these people, you didn't personally, but the group appointed Herb Wesson, same
Thank you,
crook.
Jock.
And by the way, the claims board of the city of Los Angeles is a haughty body of 3, but they're supposed to be the council president, the mayor, and the city attorney. They all send somebody in there. There were 33 items, claims. They sent people in, but they have now refused. The little person who works in the clerk's office or the city attorney's office won't share with me who served. He could have said, Krikorian could have said, Zabo, you go. And the city attorney, Feldstein Soto, could have said, send Grote in. He doesn't know what's going on, but just send him in there and he knows what to do. And then The mayor could have
Next
stepped in.
caller, please. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Caller, which items would you like to speak to?
I haven't, Cubby.
Yes, public comment, please.
Good morning. You have
great
1 minute
pander,
for general
everybody.
public comment.
Thank you. 50 years I've had a relationship with the LAPD, and yet I was stopped a couple of weeks ago because I was cleaning graffiti in my community. But I'm okay with that because after that I saw the officer stop 10 people and ticket them because they were speeding. He saved lives. He saved property because they weren't running into our walls, etc. You know what, the Latino, and that includes me, what we should be doing is focusing on getting our kids back in our house and not allowing them to destroy our city with their tire graffiti. How many of those takeovers are Latinos? Why are we crying about that? Why aren't we saying you're destroying our beautiful city? We don't say anything about that. We're always blaming others. Yes, there's problems, but why don't we take care of the problems that we're able to take care of? So I hope that more people will try to resolve this issue of the tire graffiti and the takeovers of our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That will close public comment
Aw,
on all
no
agenda items
Jason?
and close general public
We'll
comment.
enter Jason
Let's
in a
move to item number 1, Madam Clerk.
The fucking
item
tire graffiti's getting to him, ladies and gentlemen. He can't stand it.
All right, we'll take items 1 and 2 up together without objection. So those items are now before us. Do any members wish to be heard? Seeing none, let's open the roll.
Let's close
the roll and tabulate the votes.
Yeah,
13 ayes.
They don't like Jason talking
Thank
about
you.
the baby
Mr.
batter.
President, there's a request to send 1 and 2 forthwith, sir.
Without objection,
Or
that'll be the
Figueroa.
order. What's next
Putting
before us?
Figueroa on blast.
That would be item 12, and that was called special by Mr. McCosker.
Thank you. Councilmember McCosker?
Thank you very much. I just want to put some questions on the record and not have them
Brock uses
answered
the
here because we
sneaky
do have
PI
a
tricks
joint
to get
public
in there.
hearing coming up with public safety and Triple T. Item 12 is the extension of what is the short line rail in the harbor. And just very, very quickly, short line rail takes stuff from on dock and other near spots to the terminals and delivers rail cars to the large users, UP and BNSF. And this item before us is a 1-year extension of the current incumbent. I do not have a problem with the incumbent at all. And I don't have a problem with short line rail in the port. The issue is it has an intersection with Rancho LPG, an issue that I'm very concerned about. And there is a spur that is part of this package that will move forward and be extended for 1 year. And that spur that serves Rancho LPG is also the subject of a motion. Specifically, I'm asking whether or not we can revoke that spur or whether we can change that use using our land use and our concession authority. And I also have 2 other motions pending on the Rancho LPG use. What I want to say is that I want the record to reflect that extending this concession for the entire package of short rail does not have an effect one way or the other on Rancho LPG. And I also want to be very clear when this item comes forward and the port reports on the package of
I don't know what they'd be
materials,
doing
I
if they
will
weren't
want
doing
to
that, though,
know
Salty. Some of them,
what
most of
authority
them are
we
probably
have
pretty low
through this
education
concession agreement,
folks. You know,
the
they don't-
1-year extension,
aren't the brightest
and
bulbs.
the ultimate decision that the port is making right now.
They're not the kind
on
of
whether or not to
hardworking,
go out to
focused
RFP.
student that you'd
And I
think.
want the RFP
So
standards.
what do you do?
To
They don't want to
consider
learn a trade or
the
anything.
extent of our authority to protect
They'd
the
rather
public
do that.
from this Rancho
It's easier money.
LPG used spur. So that is for the record.
If
and that's
anything,
for when the port comes back
like I said,
and
you
speaks to
make it
us
legal,
in one or more
get rid of
those
the
committees
pimp.
and
That
quite
way
possibly
they,
joint committee.
the
I
ladies
thank
or
my
the men,
colleagues
make
for
the money.
scheduling of that
Whoever's
in the
out
near
there
future.
selling their stuff.
And with that, I'll ask for an aye vote. With
So
that
they make more
caveat,
money
that
and
we
at
have
least
serious questions
becomes a
about that one
career
spur,
in a
and
sense,
this does
and
not
it's like a
further
stripper.
lock in LPG or Rancho LPG to the
You know,
use.
problem is, like even with strippers, they don't
Very good.
they don't
Thank you
tend
very
to make
much.
the best
I see
decisions
no other
while
members
making
wishing to
really
be
good
heard,
money.
So item 12 is now before us.
You
on
know,
that item,
they're
let's
buying
open the
really
roll.
nice cars and purses
Close the roll and
and
tabulate the
fake
votes.
titties and all kinds of shit.
13
drugs.
Very good.
You
Madam
know
Clerk,
what I
what's
mean?
next before us?
Instead of going and
Next is
and
item
investing in
16,
themselves.
and
Now,
that
not to
was
say
called
that it's
special by
all of them,
Councilmember
but certainly I'm
Harris-Dawson.
sure some
Very
have
good.
used it
Councilmember
as a
Harris-Dawson.
step stool.
Thank
who
you
were
so
sober
much,
and-
members. I rise today to first
and
thank the
you know,
Push
used
LA
it as a
Coalition
stepping
and all the
stone and
organizations
then made
that came
enough to
today
buy a
to give
property or
testimony
something and
yesterday
start
to
there.
committee
Sure,
and
that
have
has
been
to have
coming
hap-
to
has to have
committee
happened.
for 4 years.
I think Candido
first
learned his
hearing,
lesson. Is that what
was
you're
led
saying?
by Councilwoman Rodriguez on Zoom in 20.
That's why he's not talking about you no
years
more.
ago. Some of the same activists that you saw today were there to carry this process. What we are asking, or what is before us, is a big and significant change for the city of Los Angeles, and I think the city of Los Angeles can lead the nation. The business of pretextual traffic stops, which I will concede out front, I believe pretextual traffic stops are in fact constitutional. They just unconstitutional.
Well,
They
again,
just have
I'm not
been
saying
tested in
that
court adequately.
all of them are
but between now and
human
then,
traffic, but some of them absolutely
the
are.
pretextual stop.
I just
is
told
so
you they
much
should
a
be able
part
to get rid of that,
being
so
an
that way it
Angelino,
doesn't
being a
force them
Californian,
onto the
being
street. If that's what they wanted to
particularly
do,
if you're
they could
African
then do it
American,
and be their own
Latino, or
boss
part
at
of
it.
some other group that,
Versus having somebody do
gets
that to
targeted
them.
by pretextual
Or human traffic
stops.
them.
A little bit of history, and
Just saying.
I by no means
Someone
want
wants
to
to
be
sit on the
grandiose about this,
streets
but I do want to put it in context
for,
so folks can understand
and smoke
how
crack
deeply
all day.
felt it is.
That's their right, in my
Pastor
opinion.
Eddie
Who
Anderson
am I
got
to
up
tell
and
them to
said,
sit there and
"My father had
not
this talk
smoke
with
that
me, his
crack?
father had this talk with
I
him,
just don't want to
his
pay
father
for it
had
with
this
my
talk with him,
tax
his father had
dollars.
talk with him." Well, you go back far enough, he's actually talking about
And
slavery.
you know, that's
And
the
that
way
is
I
in
look
fact
at
the
things.
case.
Who am I to
During
say anything?
Slavery, even in places where
Nobody
slavery
who
was
who
not
is
the case
I got to
with
be honest,
most
other than
of
the
United
actual human
States,
traffickers, who's
the
for
rule
human
was
trafficking?
Anybody
Nobody.
could stop you if you were black at any
Nobody.
time and say, "Show me your papers."
Game Patter, I got suspended
Does
for
that
30
sound
days
familiar?
for showing the LAPD
Show me your
videos last
papers.
night.
Show me that you were in fact not a slave, and I should not personally capture you and send you back to the South. You fast forward now, and this has happened to me. If it's happened to me, if it's happened to me, it's happened to probably most of the people in this room. The lights come on, you get pulled over. Why are
Well,
you
why do
stopping
people,
when you cross the double
like in the
yellow
red
line?
light district, why do
Are
ladies
you a gang member?
use,
Are
do
you
it
on
there?
parole or probation?
So they can make
Can
good
you
money.
open the back window of
And
your
the country
car?
they come
That is an
from in Eastern
investigative
Europe,
stop. Like
they
that
make
has
nothing.
nothing to do with the fact that I crossed a double
Couple
yellow
bucks
line
a
or
month,
had a broken
so I
tail
can
light or
make
my
that
windows
in
were
one
tinted or
night.
whatever.
Do
This
it for
is
5,
the
10 years.
practice.
Come back
And
home,
we've
buy a
gotta
nice
move
property,
away
nice
from
house,
that. And again,
and live
I
good.
say all of this realizing how much policing depends upon the traffic stop, how much
Same.
policing is done through traffic stops. I talk to the rank and file officers in my area all the time. I know the amount of
It's not
people
my president.
that
I
can
didn't vote
catch
for him, you
burglars
know.
and a whole bunch of other things through traffic stops.
That ain't my
that
president.
doesn't make it a just or
That's your
rational
president.
policy. And so there is on the one hand the fear that everybody can tell you about.
Right.
I don't do a good job articulating it myself, but
Well.
when you see that car in the rearview mirror, it strikes terror, particularly if you're in a place where you don't have anybody, it's dark, you might be the only person on the street. That's just the reality. Again, the vast majority of officers are great, but when you're the person in the car, you don't know who's coming to that window with a gun. You don't know what just happened to them before they stopped you. You don't know what kind of day they've had.
Cops
you don't
are
know
terrifying.
what you're dealing with. And so
I love it.
it is something that we need to do away with or move away from as quickly as we can and as expeditiously as we can for that reason. But there's another very practical reason. Every police department, including LAPD, when they give you the data, their own data of who they stop, it is always, without fail, disproportionately black, disproportionately Latino. And guess what? It isn't just that you get stopped and you spend extra time dealing with the government in a way that you don't necessarily want to do. This shows up in who gets traffic citations and who doesn't. We live in a state where you're required to have insurance. Guess what my insurance price is based on? My driving record.
No, your zip code
So what
also,
ends up
buddy.
happening is communities pay an extra tax
Your zip code.
because of this policy, because you pay more for insurance because you're more likely to get stopped and you're more likely to have a traffic violation. So I am extremely grateful to Councilwoman Rodriguez, Councilmember Hutt, who chaired the two committees that this went through and kept it going, even though it's been a very slow and arduous process, and it'll continue to be difficult because this is a big change that we're putting before. But again, I'm very grateful that folks
Just
are
the
willing
police,
to
Rob.
and willing to have the debate and engaging in the debate and the discussion. And I believe together,
defender.
as we struggle through this, as we work
He
through
likes
it with
crime and
our
filth
Department of
and decay.
Transportation and with the Los Angeles Police Department, we can get this city to a better place and lead the nation. So thank you, members, and I ask for an aye vote on this item.
Thank you very
I
much.
didn't tell you the truth
Councilmember
about all those
Hernandez,
white
followed by
people that go down
Councilmember
to
Soto-Martinez.
the black and brown communities
Council
and,
President,
and commit all the
I want
crimes.
to start by
While the cops
saying
are
that I
even
echo
there.
my colleague's Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson's comments. We
Who's
wouldn't
the
be here
storyteller,
without his
ladies and
advocacy
gentlemen?
and his leadership. And thank you to Councilwoman Heather Hutt and Councilwoman Rodriguez for moving this forward. I rise in support of the dual recommendations made by the Transportation and Public Safety Committee on alternatives to traffic enforcement. I first and foremost want to thank Councilmember Harris Dawson again for leading the efforts to introduce a motion back in 2020 that aimed to explore alternative traffic enforcement solutions that do not rely on armed law enforcement.
Ugly wallpaper.
I also want to thank the community and Push LA Coalition for their advocacy to reimagine traffic safety and enforcement, because oftentimes government really only does the right thing when community pushes us to do so, and I think that was one of those moments. We have seen again and again that engaging armed officers to perform routine traffic stops has resulted in violence, racial profiling, community mistrust, and heavy fines and fees. It is a system that relies on the department that already receives a quarter of our entire city budget to do work that can and should be done by other departments that employ unarmed civilian city employees. We know that traffic stops occur disproportionately in black and brown neighborhoods. We know who is targeted by pretextual stops, and we know who bears the burden of the fines and fees that quickly spiral out of control. Alternative traffic enforcement isn't a radical idea. It's a proven strategy. Cities like Berkeley have already begun to implement similar measures with promising results. Implementing unarmed traffic response leads to reductions in violent incidences and increased trust in public institutions. Although there is much work to be done, these recommendations play a crucial role in advancing efforts centered on community safety. Imagine, instead of getting a ticket for your broken taillight, you can drive up to a clinic where they'll actually fix your broken taillight or help fix the things that are wrong in your car that oftentimes result in fines and fees. And back in 2016, $1 Million Hoods out of UCLA did a study that showed from 2016 to 2020, the top charges that got women into the LA County jail system were driving with no license, driving with suspended license, driving with no insurance. Even though they were nonviolent offenses, it was some of the biggest driving factors for incarceration of women in LA County. Los Angeles has the opportunity to spearhead this movement.
Well,
and adopt
driving's
the
not a
alternatives
right,
to
it's a
traffic enforcement
privilege.
recommendations
That's why they
that were
tell you
approved by
that.
the
It says it on
Transportation
your
and Public
license.
Safety Committee.
Well, it
I
used
urge
to
you all
back
to
in
vote
the
aye
day
on
on the
this,
backside.
and let us hit the ground running to do this work. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
And I get
Councilmember
everything's a right.
Soto-Martinez, followed by
Free
Councilmember
housing,
Price.
right.
Thank you so much.
Free
Council
gas,
President.
right. Free
First of all,
health
I'd
care,
like to
right.
Just congratulate you for getting us to this point, Councilmember Harris Dawson, and the Push LA Coalition for advocating for this work on the ground, and for Chairwoman Hutt and Chairwoman Rodriguez for both passing this through their respective committees. I think we heard a lot of testimony about how this affects, folks who are over-policed. And look,
That's
I'll
SoCal.
speak personally. I was very lucky to get a car at 16 years old. That I worked very hard to get that car. But I was pulled over so many times from the age of 16 to 25. And every single time I was pulled over, it was either for two reasons. For some ticky-tack thing that I was supposedly violating, and that was when I was unlucky. And when I was lucky, the police officer would say, oh, you match the description of somebody that we were looking for. It's like what happens in South Central and Watts and all the and sort of in the West Valley is not the way it should be done. And so I think this is moving us in a much better direction than we have currently right now. So I'm looking forward to see how this evolves and how this moves forward. But nothing takes away the lived experience of many folks. And so I just want to share that because the studies show something that a lot of folks that grew up in South Central and in the different working class neighborhoods, we already know that. And so thank you so much again, Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Thank you. Councilmember Price, followed by Councilmember Hutt.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too want
Grady.
to just thank my colleagues for
raising this important issue. Councilwoman Hutt, Councilwoman Rodriguez, the efforts of Push LA, I think have been significant. Certainly, our pro tem has been a real leader in this, and we appreciate it. And just to add something else to it, you know, you don't. We talked about being stopped, and you know, I've been stopped with e-plates. With e-plates, and of course always you know, apology and concerns expressed by the officer, but nonetheless the stop was made because what they thought was something suspicious. And even, you know, we talk about the
you're a fucking criminal. You've been federally indicted.
Slavery and coming down to current times. We know that in certainly Southern California, we had sundown cities back in the day. In other words, you had to be out of those towns, sundown towns they called them. If you were black or brown, you know, sometimes in areas of the South Bay, Inglewood, Hawthorne, Lawndale, I'm talking about 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you were going to get stopped.
Yeah, talking about fucking 60 years ago.
This whole
Makes
notion
sense.
of unarmed responses to pretext stops are just so very, very important. Really the matter of life and
This
death.
happened 60 years ago.
And so I'm just happy to support this effort. Glad we're moving forward.
Another
It has been a
gaslight
long
race
time, but
baiter.
It's an important discussion that we need to have, and one that impacts us all. So thank you, Mr. President. And thank you, members.
While being federally indicted, he's over here telling me about his victimhood. Yeah, I just want to say, guys, I told
Thank
you,
you
this
so
is
much,
2024,
Mr.
the year of the victim.
Members,
last
we're
year
here
was the
today
year of fake
to move
oppression.
forward on the
This is the
next
year of
set
victimhood.
recommendations for an unarmed traffic response in the city of Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm a victim.
I want
I'm a
to
victim
thank
too.
the Traffic Enforcement Alternatives Advisory Task Force, our DOT, LAPD, Public Works staff, the committee members of transportation, and Councilwoman Rodriguez and your committee members as well, who participated in putting together these recommendations. I especially want to thank the task force president, Chauncey Smith, vice president, Ashiola Sankara, and members Leslie Cooper Johnson and Pastor Eddie, Yolanda Davis Overstreet. All of them have been very intentional about sharing their own lived experiences. For me, as everybody knows, I'm the single mom of 3 sons. You have to share that talk.
Shocker.
The talk is about
Who's trying to
protecting
get-
yourself while
who's trying to
driving or
wipe you
while
up?
riding a bike or while being in public. And, you know, it was really the forethought of our soon-to-be Council President Pro Tem Marquise Harris Dawson, Mike Bonin, and Herb Wesson for introducing this motion years ago to get this city to do some really incredible work.
Totally missed the part on the weed.
We're here today
Time
because
for
our
your
traffic enforcement system is broken. We
How
all
can you
know
tell-
that.
oh, you're
and
in
we
the
need to
scalp area?
examine
That
the
does
root
look a little
causes
funny.
and understand what the range of possible solutions are. There are many ways for the city to implement an
shit's pulling back
unarmed
out.
traffic response in a thoughtful and responsible manner, while continuing to help the police department focus on what they do best, stopping real crime. These recommendations will lead us down a path to freeing up the police department's resources while directing other resources to better infrastructure, developing a proactive, community-based fix-it ticket system, and ending pretextual traffic stops. These recommendations were
haven't
well
tracked-
thought out
I haven't
by the
been to
members
Taco
of the
Bell in
Transportation
6 months,
Committee
maybe?
for several
Been a while.
months, and our recommendations
Stopped eating
have
all
been
that fast
received
food
in
now,
concurrence
after this
by the
shit happened.
Public Safety Committee. Members, I ask for your aye votes so that we can continue to do this work and so that Los Angeles can lead. Thank you.
No wacky D's, no yakking about.
Thank you. Councilmember Padilla.
The only fast food maybe is Tommy's
just
for a
want to
breakfast
thank
burrito.
everybody
or El Pollo Loco,
over the years
little
and over the
rice
months that it
bowls.
took to put this together for doing the good work. This is definitely something that I am going to support. And I want to personally thank Councilmember Price, Harris Dawson, and everybody who's given their personal stories related to why we're being bold and willing to take on this new way of doing things, because we know that the system is broken. And, I just want to mention that, what Councilmember Soto Martinez mentioned, what you experience, you fit the description.
Breakfast sandwich
that is
and a burrito. Burrito's
literally
really good.
my older brother's story of his life. You couldn't go back. We couldn't go 2 to 3 weeks without once again him coming home being like, I got stopped, I got questioned all the time growing up. But my little brother, I remember one day, maybe about a few years after he finished high school and I was in college, and his stories became more about, I know how to talk to the cops. I taught myself how to talk to the cops. So he was a new generation that, based on what he saw his older brother go through, had to consciously adjust and know and teach himself how to remain calm, because he always knew that as soon as you could have gotten anybody upset, that the story was going to end, and it probably wasn't going to end well, and he was going to cause a whole nuisance for the whole family because we were going to have to go pick him up somewhere. So I applaud everyone for taking on this work. I'm definitely a supporter, and let's make this happen. I hope everyone votes aye.
Thank you.
Councilmember
De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I want
Bro,
to
he died as shit. How's it so dark now?
I want to thank
I don't
the
know,
chair
the
of the
gray's still on
Transportation
the
Committee,
side.
Heather Hutt, and the chairwoman of Public
It's usually
Safety,
more brown.
Monica Rodriguez. Just in short, I heard Mr. Price mention even with E-plates, he was pulled over. I was just sharing with my colleague here to my left, Marquise Harris Dawson, that as a member of the California State Legislature, as a member of the Assembly, I was pulled over. And I didn't even get the benefit
I too
of
was
the
a
curb,
victim.
or even the luxury of sitting in the driver's seat while they checked my background. In fact, I was put into the back seat of the car.
Stop it.
And I was there like for 10, 15 minutes. Stop it. Wasn't here, wasn't LAPD. It was in
Liar.
my own hometown of San Diego, or San Diego Police Department. I remember specifically on 28th Street, 28th and B Street, just a little farther, a little down from the Golden Hill Liquor Store, and 10 feet away from Starbucks when I was pulled over. Nissan Maxima, dark charcoal gray Nissan Maxima that I was driving. And again, wasn't given the benefit of the doubt, not even the curb, but the back seat of the car. Well, why are you putting me in the back seat of the car? No explanation at all whatsoever. Eventually, after 20 minutes, he let me go, but it leaves something with you, this sense of violation. So I applaud the efforts being put forth today, and looking forward to the recommendations that will come forward so we can be constructive in how we deal with traffic stops, especially traffic stops that are disproportionately impacting communities of color. So we can live in a society that you feel free, you don't feel this sense of anxiety, this sense of panic at a moment's notice that when you see someone right behind you, especially if the lights are on, that your life may be in jeopardy. Good points were made, because the vast majority of our law enforcement officials are good men and women
Maybe
out
at the
there
very
protecting
end, Tim.
our community. But we have to acknowledge this as well too. So I appreciate this, and I too offer
When they do their
my
honoring.
support and ask for an aye vote. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
But probably not,
Thank
because
you.
he's white.
All right. There are no other members on the queue. So, if there are no other comments on this item, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
Jerry West was a
ayes.
colonizer.
Very good. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, what's next
need to
before us?
divest.
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Without objection, posted and referred. Next.
That clears the desk, sir.
Very good. Members, are there any announcements? Yes. Any announcements on my left?
Clippers killed Jay.
I see no announcements.
Look,
Any
Donald
announcements?
Harlan right there. So
Announcements?
good to see him back.
Mr.
and
De
see him
Leon for an
alive.
announcement.
Gosh, I hope we see him every fucking show from now on. Every meeting. Hope he becomes a regular again.
Both.
'Cause I miss him.
Well, first of all, a little levity will make an announcement.
let's go ahead.
Clearly cruising.
With Mr. De Leon's announcement.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, today we gather to celebrate an incredible legacy that began right here in the city of Los Angeles. More or close to a century ago, in 1929, John Bianchetti founded People's Choice Beef Jerky with just a few dollars. A handful of cherished family recipes and an unyielding will to succeed. John's vision was to create a neighborhood butcher shop offering premium meats through honesty, through hard work, and personal relationships. This vision has guided the Bianchetti family business through 4 generations, from fathers and mothers to sons and daughters, ensuring its enduring success.
Beef Jerky
Today,
Day in
People's
LA.
Choice Beef Jerky stands as the oldest beef jerky company
as fuck.
in all of the great state of California, proudly based right here in the city of LA. It's not just about beef jerky, it's about producing a natural, healthy food that reflects our city's entrepreneurial spirit. People's Choice Beef Jerky remains a thriving legacy business in our city,
Sandwich,
part
thank
of a
you.
$2.5 billion industry in the United States that continues to grow. Every year, on June 12th, National Beef Jerky Day is widely celebrated across the nation. This year, we're especially proud
Go out
as
and get a
People's
Slim Jim
Choice
today.
Beef Jerky launches its Community Impact Program, further demonstrating its commitment to the people of Los Angeles. The city of Los Angeles is dedicated to supporting legacy local industries like People's Choice Beef Jerky, and therefore I'm delighted, colleagues, if you didn't know, now you know, to announce that the Los Angeles City Council establishes June 12th, 2024 as Beef Jerky Day in the city of Los Angeles.
This is what we waste our time for and money.
So congratulations to People's Choice Beef Jerky and the Bianchetti family on this honor, and may your delicious legacy continue for generations to come. Now, I know that my colleagues, hopefully, if you haven't received your package, let us know. You'll get it, as well as staff members here. I know I have the carne seca, green chile, and I have the hot and spicy beef jerky, which I believe is habanero, or I should say the sweet chile habanero right here. We thank you very much, and let's celebrate Beef Jerky Day. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you very much, Mr. De Leon. Any other announcements?
Fucking lame.
Any other announcements, members? I see no other announcements. So
Alien jerky's better.
Are there any motions for adjournment? I know Mr. De Leon will.
Get up
Are there
outta here.
any others? Councilmember Hutt? Councilmember Hutt, go ahead. If we could all please rise for adjourning motions.
Y'all get up out of here. Yeah, alien jerky's really
Councilmember
good.
Hutt.
There we go. Thank you. It's with a heavy heart that I share the news of the passing of my dear friends, Hopewood Moore and Margaret Peggy Moore. They were tragically killed in a car accident on May 10th, 2024, caused by a driver on the highway going the wrong way. Hope and Peggy were leaving a concert, and so I know that they were in the car singing every song that they just heard. Hope and Peggy weren't just amazing friends, they were forces of nature. Their passion for justice, equality, and equity wasn't just a cause. It was the fire that fueled their remarkable work as community leaders and organizers. They met during the 2008 Obama campaign, and then as soon as they got married, as soon as they could, they got married. A testament to their shared belief in a brighter future and the change of what happens in California. That shared vision led them to opening the Hope Action for Change in 2019, a political consulting firm dedicated to utilizing equity-centered design processes, identifying opportunities for both individuals and organizational growth, and employing a compassionate approach that images most marginalized voices to build a culture of resilience, cohesion, and success.
Yeah, no.
Beyond their remarkable achievements, Hope and Peggy brought infectious joy to anyone they met. They were an amazing couple with a genuine warmth that could make you feel like the most important person in the room. For me, they were more than colleagues. They had become a part of my family. Their absence will leave a void that can't be filled. And their legacy of compassion, dedication, and unwavering hope will continue to inspire those who knew them for years to come.
Yeah, a lot of the wrong way drivers
They will
are
be deeply
drunk,
missed.
usually.
And our prayers go out to anybody who loved them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hutt. Councilmember Harris-Dawson.
Mr. President, thank you, Councilwoman Hutt, for getting us through the beautiful adjourning motion. I know we had to wait a few days because it was very tough and very shocking, this loss. I knew both of these women, did not know them well, did not even actually know they were together until I learned of their passing, which was very hard to believe. But they were both organizers who absolutely owned the room when they got in it. Whatever their agenda was, whatever they were trying to move forward became the center of attention, and they had that special ability to project and infect everybody in the room with their energy. I can remember a meeting, sort of a Democratic Party meeting, and the candidate that we were with was getting thumped by Bernie Sanders up and down the stage, and everybody's kind of down and bummed about it, and in walks Peggy and says, everybody sit down, here's the program, here's what we're doing. And by the end of the meeting, folks went charging out to do the work, and that's the kind of energy we all hope for, and the kind of impact that we all want to have on the folks that we're working with. And so again, thank you, Councilwoman Hutt, and may both these women rest in power, and may we remember the energy and the mark that they left on so many of us.
Thank you. Councilmember Hutt, we're also sorry for your loss. May they rest in peace. Councilmember De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr.
He got
President.
a fat head in his hand?
As well as colleagues, as well as all of those who marched all the way from Hope to City Hall.
Oh, that's the actor
Colleagues, today I rise
who was killed
with a very, very heavy heart
over a catalytic
to
converter.
adjourn this meeting in the memory of a truly remarkable individual, Johnny Wachter.
Someone was stealing his catalytic converter. He came out and the dude shot him, took off in downtown Los Angeles.
On May 25th, 2024, our city lost not only a talented actor, but a man of profound character and generosity. As all of you know, Johnny's life was tragically cut short in an act of senseless violence as he heroically shielded a co-worker,
I don't believe so, Trey.
embodying the selflessness and bravery that defined his life. Johnny William Wachter III was born on August 31st, 1986 in Charleston, South Carolina. From an early age, he showed an unwavering commitment to excellence, whether it was in the pool as a nationally ranked swimmer or on stage, where he began his journey into the arts at just 10 years of age. His performance at Julius Caesar at Gibbons Elementary School was the beginning of a lifelong passion for storytelling, a passion that would lead him to Los Angeles and a successful acting career. But Johnny was more than the sum of his accomplishments as a talented actor. He was a son, he was a brother, he was a friend and a beacon of kindness and inspiration. His mother, Scarlett, who's watching right now from South Carolina, described him as a man who gave 110% to every aspect of life. He truly listened to others and was eager to help and encourage them to be the very best. Johnny loved life, and he lived it with vigor and purpose that touched everyone he met. Johnny's journey in the arts led him to star in roles that captivated audiences worldwide. From his lead role on NBC's Siberia to his beloved portrayal of Brando Corbin on General Hospital, Johnny's talent and dedication to his craft left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Yet despite his successes, he remained deeply connected to his roots back home in South Carolina.
I got suspended for 30 days, Allie,
and to his
for showing the LAPD
his
videos
friends.
we watched.
He gave back in countless ways, like reading Dr. Seuss right here in local elementary schools, making and distributing sandwiches to our unhoused neighbors, especially during COVID, and standing in solidarity with all of his fellow actors during the writers' strike. Johnny's commitment to service and justice was unwavering, and his actions, not just his words, but his actions, were a testament to the depth of his character. Johnny found solace and serenity in nature, spending cherished moments with his family, climbing mountains, being a proud big brother to Lance and to Grant, right behind me, and simply enjoying the outdoors. Now, I know his brother Grant has come all the way from South Carolina as well. His love for his family and his zest for life were the constants that guided him through his life journey. As we reflect on Johnny's life, we're reminded of his magnetism, his humility, and his pure life force, waking up each morning with a sense of purpose, ready to seize the day and make a profound difference. His love, passion, and integrity will be remembered and felt by all of those who had the privilege of knowing him. Let it be clear that Johnny, like
Crazy
others,
photo.
Johnny was killed for a piece of metal. For a piece of metal. Today we honor Johnny Wachter III, his memory, his contributions to our community, and the extraordinary life that he lived. We extend, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, our deepest condolences to his family and friends and all those who mourn his profound loss. I also want to acknowledge once again all of his friends, his loved ones who are in the audience here today, who have made that march.
That's a sad deal, man. All over a fucking catalytic converter. Which
I
they're
also
gonna get
want to
$40
acknowledge Brian
for or
as
something.
well too.
Big deal.
Brian, if you can raise your hand, the security officer that was there with
Look
them
at
as
fucking
well.
Herman right here. Look at him. Fucking Herman, dude. He's too much.
I want to acknowledge Micah, his very good friend, who helped organize the event earlier this morning. And of course, his little brother, who is his big brother, in different ways, takes after his father, grandfather, I should say, and Scarlett, who's watching us right now live. Scarlett, we know you're watching us, and we'll continue our conversations.
Yeah, he was an
Most
actor on
importantly,
General
I want
Hospital,
to assure
right,
them
yeah.
that we're committed to ensuring that we bring those responsible for this heinous act to justice. Johnny's death was senseless and unnecessary. A beautiful life cut short before its time. Johnny's spirit will remain forever in our hearts in a shining example of how to live life with unwavering integrity and grit. May Johnny rest in peace, and may Johnny's legacy continue to inspire us all, and may we have justice for Johnny and justice very soon. With that, thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. De Leon.
Yeah, as far as I know, they haven't
May he
caught the
rest in
murderer.
peace.
Dude was wearing a mask. They don't even know what he
Members.
looks like. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you all for being with us.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Convicting him.
Are there any other motions for adjournment, members? Any other motions? All right. Seeing none, thank you all very much. Go forth and serve the city well. This meeting is adjourned.
There it goes, ladies and gentlemen. And another one in the books. It's good to see Donald Harlan. We had a few bright spots there. We got a call from Brock. That was always good. Shit, yeah, man. At least we got something in. Better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. That's what I say. Better than nothing, man. But yeah, man. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me today for this. We'll be live for 2 shows on Friday. I will be around, so if there's a chase, we'll pop on. Remember, there will be no Twitch. If you know anybody who's on Twitch and you talk with them, let them know. No Twitch for 30 days. Thanks to the ban of us watching that. Watching the, the LAPD videos. So, we'll be back in 30 days on there. And this is another reason, guys, why I always tell you to follow at more than one spot. Because, again, if you're only watching in one spot, I go down and get kicked off for 30 days, you think I'm just not even, doing anything. But yet, you still could just come in another room and enjoy. So, that's all I says. That's all I says. So, remember that. I always say at least 2 places, That way, also, if one doesn't give you the live alert for a chase, the other one will. You know what I mean? And then you go where you want to go. Kind of thing. That's what I always say. So, shit, yeah, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for all the likes, the love, the thumbs ups. They work and they're free. Thank you for the donations. And I guess that's it. I mean, at least we got Stink Bomb in the house today. We didn't have him, which is nice to see him over here. There he goes. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Don't come scratching me. I'm just talking about you. That's it. I'm just talking about you old stinkums. Somebody's tired. Living his best life right now. Look at him. All over the computer with those long rabbit legs. What? You want my arm? What? You want? Huh? Huh? You want me? You just want love? You want loves? You want love. Want your belly rubbed? You want be big baby. Look at him. Such a big baby. Can't believe this cat fit in my hand when I got him. Dude, he's so big. It's crazy. He's such a tall, long cat. Oh, baby. He was born to be a star. Yeah, most cats aren't going to let you just do this. I mean, trust me, he's just about ready to bite me soon here any moment. Oh, Bubba, you don't like me too much. You just want a little bit of it, huh? Not many cats will allow you to do that. And look at him, just in another world right now. Belly out. Fucking shit, yeah, look at him. Just dead to the world. It's a good cat, man. I love you, buddy. Yeah, everybody loves you. Yeah, everybody loves you because you're a good boy. Yeah. Give you treats later because you're being a good boy. All right, guys. Thank you for everything you do for each other and for me. Have a fantastic hump day and shit. Enjoy it.
Can I get it, Mike?
No, it's not what I want. No, that's not what I wanted.
Hump day, yeah!
That's what I wanted. All right, guys. So I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of your days. Keep the notifications on in case we get a chase, and I'll see you on the next one.
This party is officially over.
See you guys. And again.